This page of Dreamcast Magazine from March 2001, priced at 450 yen, is the front cover page. The cover features prominent coverage of the horror-adventure game Ill Bleed, highlighting the true horror aspect. It also advertises features on Sakura Wars 3, Shenmue 2, and Virtua Fighter 4. The page mentions the AOU 2001 Amusement Expo and promotes GameSpot Japan. There's also a mention of Dreamcast being sold at a discounted price of 9,900 yen, as production is ending soon, in 22 days. The cover has a striking split-face image that is part human and part demonic. This page is the contents page of Dreamcast Magazine. It lists the articles featured in this issue. The contents include features on Narrated, Virtua Fighter 4, with in-depth coverage and interviews across 3 large titles. Shenmue 2. Sakura Wars 3, with the question, Paris is Burning. A section called Dream Magazine Topics, discussing Uniqlo or DC. And Sega's DNA Lives On. New sensory games? A special feature on Two-dimensional girls are also cute, aren't they? A supplementary report on the AOU 2001 Amusement Expo. A serialized feature titled Dream Magazine Why? Investigation Team Chapter 73. Everyone's doubts are resolved by direct hit. An article about the secrets of network games. What can be done here? What's the reason? A Pioneer section covering Naomi Systems Monkey Ball. A feature on Hitmaker Trust, focused on Sega Gaga. And lastly, a piece on Air Trekkers. There is also a section highlighting Dreamcast special news and new game information, listing ILLB Lead, Eldragoat Volume 4, and Caldcept 2nd. This Dreamcast Magazine content page highlights a range of articles and a game index. Featured articles include previews and reviews for games like Love Hina Smile Again, Le Mans 24 Hours, World Series Baseball 2K1, and Spirit of Speed 1937. Other notable titles include Battle Beaster, Westward Mad Poem Rhapsody, Macross M3, and J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru. The game index, alphabetized in Japanese, lists various Dreamcast titles. Games indexed include Atsumare, Good, Guru Guru Onsen, IL Bleed, Arrow Dancing Eye, Guilty Gear X, Sakura Wars 3, Shenmue 2, Phantasy Star Online, and Monkey Ball, among others. The index provides page numbers for easy navigation within the magazine. This page is packed with exciting news, highlighting the upcoming release of Sakura Wars 3 for Dreamcast, with a release event scheduled for March 22nd across Tokyo and Osaka. Fans attending the event and purchasing the game will have a chance to win special prizes. The article also spotlights the immense popularity of the Sega Gaga Limited Edition, noting that pre-orders sold out rapidly. A nostalgic papercraft of the Sega Master System is available for download from the Sega Gaga website. In the This Week's Spotlight section, various game-related announcements are listed, including the Sakura Wars 3 release event, the Sega Gaga Limited Edition success, and a Fire Pro Wrestling release event. Other items include the end of Sega Rally 2's online service on February 28th, and Sega Toys' announcement of a new line of humanoid communication robots. There's also news about Derby Owners Club cards becoming official JRA horse racing cards, Dragon Quest Monsters, 2 advertisements featuring a Slime Plaza, and the appearance of a Biohazard 5th Anniversary package for Resident Evil. The page features screenshots from Sakura Wars 3 showcasing the game's characters and scenes, and also Sega Gaga gameplay, alongside images of the Master System papercraft download. The text emphasizes the popularity of the Sega Gaga Limited Edition, equipped with special items like a t-shirt and pin badge, and mentions that initial pre-orders sold out almost instantly, with additional pre-orders also quickly selling out. In this week's news, a release event for Fire Pro Wrestling D featuring Inoki Kentoku celebrated the DVD and VHS launch. Sega announced the closure of Sega Rally 2 network service on Dreamcast and expressed gratitude to players. They also introduced Touch to Pawn, a touch panel ordering system for Kura Sushi. Sega Toys is launching the Family Robot series, starting in May, with the CBOT, priced at 3,980 yen, designed for communication via mobile phones. The GameSpot News ranking highlights top news. Virtua Fighter 4 images, AOU coverage of the game and Inoki's presence, the AOU 2001 report, Nakoru for Windows ADV, and the opening movie for Another Centuries Episode 2. This page covers various gaming and amusement news. Arcade fans can look forward to new Derby Owners Club cards featuring real racehorses, costing 500 yen per random card. PlayStation owners can anticipate the Resident Evil 5th Anniversary Package, a limited edition released March 22nd, containing Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and Code Veronica Complete Edition. Commercials for Dragon Quest Monsters 2 are generating excitement, particularly those featuring Hiroshi. Additionally, an Ultraman 35th Anniversary project, including a summer movie and a July 7th TV series, has been announced. Information is also provided for Spot Space AM facility, featuring Namco's Fukubukuro Exploration University starting March 17th. Finally, Namja Town is hosting spring events, including Fukubukuro Cherry Blossom Disturbance Incident, and a quiz rally, along with access guides for several amusement parks. Anime fans, get ready for a new Comet-san TV anime, airing Sundays from April 1st, with Maeda Ai voicing the lead. Win tickets to the Italia Festival Tutta Italia at Tokyo Big Sight in late April, early May, or a promotional card set for Gatekeepers from the new Cole Kara trading card series, launching around April 25th. From March 9th, -15th, the CharacterMix.com Media Arts Festival hits Ebisu. March 13th, -14th. A Mr. Driller Windows tournament is in Nagoya. March 10th, -11th, with an Osaka event to follow. WonderSwan users can enjoy a new membership service starting March 1st. Elephant Kashimashi is the music focus, with the concert 1998 Nippon Budokan Kaze ni Fukarete concert on DVD/VHS. On March 16th, Clips and Clips 2 music videos, along with the concert DVD, will be released, plus the Lonely Sun DVD/video release with a sports towel giveaway. This page is an advertisement for Dreamcast Magazine GD Volume 11, which includes a demo disc. The main highlight is Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, which features an over 6-minute special movie. The Dreamcast GD disc's contents include 1. Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, opening and special movie. 2. World Series Baseball 2K1 demo version. 3. Power Jet Racing 2001 demo version. 4. Bounty Hunter Sarah, Holy Mountain no Teiyu movie. This is likely referring to a Japanese-only Dreamcast game called Bounty Hunter Sarah, Holy Mountain no Haihao, but the title has a slight variation. 5. Eldorado Gate Volume 4 movie. This is another Japanly Dreamcast title, part of a series. 6. NFL 2K1 movie. 7. NBA 2K1 movie. 8. Wild Riders Business Title Special Movie. This title remains untranslated outside of Japan. 9. Eternal Arcadia. Download data. This is the Japanese name for Skies of Arcadia. 10. Atsumare. Guru Guru Onsen. Download data. This is a Japan-only puzzle game. The magazine issue was released on March 16th, priced at 790 yen, and it is an expanded issue published on March 30th. The advert also mentions that Sakura Wars 3 will be featured on the cover for 3 consecutive issues, and that a special illustration by Hidenori Matsubara is included as a gift for all applicants. This page showcases the Dreamcast Magazine's weekly data station, focusing on the top 10 best-selling Dreamcast software titles. At number 1 is Macross M3, a shooting game, indicating its strong popularity. In second place is West Wind Rhapsody, Rapunzel Ukoku, which appears to be an RPG, and it highlights its Korean production aspect, suggesting it is well regarded. Third is Aero Dancing It, a flight simulation game, noting its popularity and hinting at player-driven events. Fourth is the ever-popular Phantasy Star Online, an RPG known for its online multiplayer focus, mentioning updates and events for players. The fifth spot is held by 100 Swords, a strategy game emphasizing deep strategic gameplay and online battles. Sixth is J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru, a soccer management simulation where players can aim to win the World Cup. In seventh place is Guilty Gear X, a fighting game that encourages players to master their skills and participate in various competitions. Eighth position features Ultimate Fighting Championship, a fighting game focusing on realistic mixed martial arts combat and dream matches. Ninth is Giga Wing 2, a shooter highlighting its intensity and appeal to core gamers. Finally, at 10th is Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, an adventure game, noting the anticipation for Sakura Wars 3 and how Sakura Wars 2 is back in the rankings, suggesting renewed interest in the series. This page ranks the top 30 most anticipated Dreamcast games based on reader votes. Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning, takes the top spot, showcasing character designs and gameplay elements, scheduled for release in March from Sega. Shenmue 2 is second, nearing completion and featuring new gameplay like Action Select. Crazy Taxi 2 is third, highlighting the Crazy Jump feature and upcoming VGA, vibration, and steering wheel compatibility. Other notable titles include Miss Moonlight, a novel adventure game, and Culdecept Second, a card game with network play. The list also includes Sonic Adventure 2, Sega, and Mobile Suit Gundam Federation vs Xeon within the top 10, and continues with a mix of action, adventure, and RPG titles like IL Bleed, Spirit of Speed 1937, EVE-0, and others. This page presents 2 rankings and previews 2 upcoming games. The first chart ranks the top 20 most wanted Dreamcast games, according to Reader Choice, with titles like AIR, Knights, and The King of Fighters 2000 topping the list. The second chart details the top 15 earning arcade games, highlighting popular titles such as Derby Owners Club 2000, Virtua Fighter 3TB, and Guilty Gear XX. The weekly pickup section spotlights the upcoming racing game, Club Kart, for the Naomi 2 arcade, emphasizing kart customization and player profiles saved on magnetic cards. Also previewed is Vampires, or Vampire Knight, a Sega and Namco co-developed gun shooting game from the House of the Dead team, which was well received at the AOU Expo. This page is the Dreamcast release schedule, covering both software and hardware. For software, March 2001 saw the release of titles such as Battle Booster, Le Mans 24 Hours, Biohazard Code, Veronica Complete Edition, Resident Evil Code, Veronica Complete, EVE-0 Complete Edition Arc of the Matter, and Powerjet Racing 2001. April included games like Spirit of Speed 1937, Canvas Sepia Color Motif, and S. May featured Desk Glamazon OX and Pia Carrot EU Coso 2.5. June had Eldorado Gate Volume 5 and Miss Moonlight. August listed Eldorado Gate Volume 6, and October had Eldorado Gate Volume 7 titles. Titles scheduled for release within 2001 included Floygen Brothers, Project Propeller Online, Monster wo Tsukuro, Let's Make a Monster, World Series Baseball 2K2, and Alexander the Road to Persia. Many titles are listed without a confirmed release date in 2001, such as Sakura Wars Series, New Space Channel 5 Part 5, Space Channel 5 Part 5, Tsukuru, Churis, J-Series, and Virtua Fighter 4. The hardware section highlights peripherals released in March 2001, including the Sega Gaga Visual Memory, Dreamcast Karaoke, Dreamcast Silver Pearl, and Dreamcast Pearl Blue variations. Finally, there's a section for Sega titles coming to other platforms. For PlayStation 2, Sakura Wars Series, and Space Channel 5 Part 5 are listed. For Game Boy Advance, Choo Choo Rocket, and Puyo Puyo Da are mentioned. The Dreamcast's Reader Judgment Reader ranking highlights the top 20 games, with Soul Calibur and Phantasy Star Online leading the pack. Other top-ranked games include Biohazard Code, Veronica, Eternal Arcadia, and Crazy Taxi. New entries are also featured. Aero Dancing is a flight simulator praised for its gameplay, online multiplayer, immersive atmosphere, and emblem creation. Debuts at 16th. Seihu no Rhapsody, a well-regarded RPG with problematic controls, enters at 174th. Finally, Macross M3, an aerial combat game with rich visuals and original story elements, lands at 206th, recommended for its exhilarating battles. This Dreamcast Reader ranking features game reviews: Biohazard Code, Veronica, Resident Evil Code, Veronica, at number 4, is lauded for its atmosphere, improved camera, and rumble features. De la Jet Set, ranked 8th, impresses with its stylish graphics, music, and natural-sounding English voice acting. Power Smash, Virtua Tennis, takes 15th place, winning over non-fans with its enjoyable tennis gameplay and surprising depth. At 19th is Revolt, a radio-controlled car racing game, praised for its fun and affordability. Finally, El Dorado Gate, Chapter 3, at 33rd, receives praise for its music, characters, price, and integration of previous chapters' weapons, though it could benefit from improved user-friendliness. This page continues the Dreamcast Reader Ranking Reviews. 100 Swords is praised for its character design and enjoyable gameplay. Despite a challenging battle mode, reviewers found the mission mode engaging. Doraemon. Gadget Cat is noted as easy to understand and enjoyable for fans of the Doraemon series. Guilty Gear X is commended for its smooth animation, fast-paced action, and network battle capabilities. Fighting Vipers 2 receives appreciation for its enhanced visuals and direction. Project Justice is highlighted for its unique characters and a board game-like element in its gameplay. Finally, Mr. Driller is described as a simple yet addictive puzzle action game. The right side of the page features a Dreamcast Software Top 136 ranking list by genre, including action, simulation, adventure, RPG, shooting, sports, racing, puzzle, and other genres, listing game titles and scores. This Dreamcast Reader ranking details games from 137th to 194th, showcasing a diverse range of titles like Power Stone 2, Seaman, and Dino Crisis. The right side features GigaWing 2, a highly rated shooter scoring 9.010, deemed a must-buy. The Capcom-developed game, released in 2001, supports up to 4 players and is praised for its modes, characters, and music. Kiyokazu Inui wrote the review, and the game is known for its bullet hell action and vibrant visuals. Developer Takumi promotes the game's chaotic, multiplayer gameplay and hints at hidden secrets. Reader feedback highlights its addictive scoring system, fun multiplayer, beautiful graphics, and restart features, with players describing how they got overwhelmed in the initial stage. Additional information is found on Capcom's Japanese website. This page of Dreamcast Magazine continues the reader rankings, presenting Odds Table Dreamcast Soft E and Odds Table Dreamcast Soft F. It seems 2 Aero F titles are slightly falling in the rankings, while El Dorado Gate Volume 3 and GigaWing 2 are climbing up. Tokyo Bus Guide and Handled Sun are also mentioned in the context of ranking shifts. There's also a section discussing Net de Para, which is humorously crowned as the lowest ranking emperor again, suggesting it consistently scores at the bottom of these polls, with Gakuen Uyamazaki also mentioned in this context. The page includes screenshots. One appears to be from a fighting game, possibly related to the Aero F discussion, and another is of a stylized character, perhaps connected to Net de Para or Gakuen Uyamazaki. This page is essentially showcasing the less popular end of the Dreamcast game spectrum, according to reader votes. This Dreamcast Magazine page is a snapshot of the Dreamcast scene, featuring game previews, reader engagement, and hardware highlights. It showcases 4 games. Fire Pro Wrestling D 8.0, known for its graphics and editing. German 6.0, a title better enjoyed with friends. Street Fighter 03 7.33, praised for its online play. And Atsumare Guru Guru Onsen BB, emphasizing online multiplayer for mahjong and card games. The page also promotes Dreamcast peripherals, highlighting bundled deals and the visual memory units, and features a Reader's Dream voice section with player opinions. An odds table details peripherals and their prices. Reader participation is encouraged through a contest to predict game rankings, with prizes including peripherals and software. The current issue highlights reader predictions for Resident Evil Code Veronica Complete Version, and announces winners from a previous contest predicting Fire Pro Wrestling D's ranking. This page presents reviews for 2 Dreamcast games in the weekly Dreamcast Software Review section. The first game reviewed is Le Mans 24 Hours, receiving a score of 8.0 out of 10. The review emphasizes the realistic racing experience, highlighting aspects like the feel of acceleration, gear changes, and under/oversteer. It notes the impressive graphics, including visuals of clouds and sunsets. The reviewer mentions the 24-hour endurance race mode as being a standout feature, allowing players to experience the intensity of long-duration racing. It's mentioned that up to 24 cars can race at once, enhancing the sense of a real endurance event. The review concludes positively, stating it's a high-quality game close to a perfect 10 score. The second game is Battle Beaster, scoring a 4.33 out of 10. This game focuses on raising monsters and engaging in voice-controlled battles. The review mentions the concept of training beasts and using voice commands in battles as being interesting. However, it criticizes the monster raising aspect as not being engaging, noting that players have limited control over monster development. A voice input system is highlighted as a core feature, but also criticized for being somewhat vague and unclear during battles. The review concludes that while there are some enjoyable elements, the overall impression is that the game is lacking, particularly in the depth of the monster raising and clarity of the battle system. The Dreamcast market saw a surge in activity following a significant price drop to 9,900 yen on March 1st, coinciding with Sega's announcement to cease Dreamcast production. This price reduction, also implemented in North America, spurred increased sales and market interest. Retailers like Akihabara Messe Sano reported substantial sales jumps, driven by popular titles like Phantasy Star Online and Hand Red Sword. The availability of bundles, including consoles, games, and VMUs, further boosted sales. Demand has surged, leading to shortages in mail-order sales of consoles, peripherals, and accessories. The price drop has attracted both new buyers and collectors. The article concludes with a list of available Dreamcast games, including Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive 2, and Jet Set Radio, among others, along with their prices and store locations. A survey of 2,000 Dreamcast users explored their reactions to the console's discontinuation and price drop. Most respondents, 60%, felt regret, while 27.5% saw it as unavoidable. The sudden shift to software provision was the biggest shock. Regarding price drops, 37.3% would buy a Dreamcast, likely a second unit. PlayStation 2, 42.5%, was the most popular platform for migration, followed by remaining with the Dreamcast, 24.9%. Users also mentioned Xbox, GameCube, and Game Boy Advance. User messages for Sega included acknowledging their hardware failure, hopes for arcade and network game focus, and improved software quality. The core message was, value user care, with an emphasis on supporting users feeling let down by the console's end. An article reviews the Mega Drive 3, a console being sold in Akihabara, sparking questions about Sega's legacy. The article investigates this unofficial product, which resembles the original Mega Drive/Genesis, but is not officially licensed, despite packaging that suggests otherwise. It features a built-in controller, 8 preloaded games, and has an Asian design, including the AC adapter and video/audio cable. The console is noted to be similar in weight to a Dreamcast controller and is comfortable to hold. The video output is video and monaural audio only. The console is compared to the Mega Jet, which is considered a genuine Sega product. The article highlights that despite the packaging advertising 20 games, only 8 are available, including Sonic the Hedgehog and puzzle games. A game driver from Sega notes the continued popularity of the Mega Drive is pleasing. This page highlights new body sensation games from Epoch Company, Limited, that are proving popular. It features 2 games from the Excite Site series, Excite Stadium and Excite Pinball, both described as digital evolutions of classic tabletop games, baseball and pinball respectively. Excite Stadium, released in March 2000, is described as a home run hitting game. The article mentions it has already sold 500,000 units and is expected to reach 800,000 units by the end of March. It emphasizes the simple yet addictive gameplay, using bat-like controllers and sensors to simulate baseball action on screen. Excite Pinball, released in October 2000, is also priced at 5,980 yen. It's presented as a digital pinball game using paddle-like controllers. The page shows screenshots of both games in action, including the game boxes and controllers. An interview excerpt with Kazuhara Osamu from Epoch Company, Limited explains the concept behind the Excite Site series, highlighting the simple and intuitive nature of the games. He mentions the use of infrared technology and sensors, similar to TV remotes, allowing players to physically swing the bat or paddles and see the action reflected on the screen. The game calculates ball speed, direction, hitting position, and swing timing to determine the outcome, creating a sense of actually hitting the ball. The games are praised for their simple systems and addictive gameplay, suggesting they offer a hint for the struggling game industry by providing fun and accessible experiences. This page from Dreamcast Magazine dives into the exciting world of Dreamcast online gaming, specifically focusing on the highly anticipated online multiplayer feature for Daytona USA 2001. The big news is that from March 13th, Japanese players of Daytona USA 2001 will be able to race online against players in the United States. The article explores how Dreamcast network battles work, explaining that while older analog phone lines can still be used, services like Telehodai are essential for affordable flat-rate access, alongside server usage fees costing $300 Dream currency for 30 days. Examples of other Dreamcast games supporting online play are showcased. Virtual on Oratorio Tangram is highlighted, mentioning a 30-day, 400 Dream currency cost for KDDI lines, emphasizing its smooth 60 frames per second action and network RPG capabilities. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes is also featured, specifying a pay-per-view system of 13 yen for 1 hour and 1 minute via the KDDI matching service, a system Capcom collaborated on with KDDI. The page includes screenshots of Daytona USA 2001 gameplay and car customization menus, alongside action shots from Virtual on Oratorio Tangram and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and a Dream Arena online service interface. This article explores the Dreamcast's online gaming capabilities, focusing on Daytona USA 2001. Toshihiro Nagoshi of Amusement Vision reveals the key to smooth online play: meticulous design. By breaking down game elements and simplifying effects, they optimize data transmission, achieving 60 FPS even on dial-up connections. They also learn from simpler online games. The article then highlights other genres. Choo Choo Rocket demonstrated competitive action, while Phantasy Star Online showcased cooperative RPG gameplay. Daytona USA 2001 is presented as the pinnacle of online racing. Looking ahead, the article speculates on future online possibilities, mentioning Spikeout. The piece concludes with a preview of the next issue, promising coverage of Sega's recruitment and industry changes. This page is an emergency interview focused on Virtua Fighter 4 and Shenmue 2. It highlights the announcement of Virtua Fighter 4, which is the first new game in the series for 5 years, alongside the surprising news of it being ported to the PlayStation 2. Shenmue 2 is also mentioned as a major topic. The interview promises to reveal all the juicy details about Virtua Fighter 4, including brand new characters, the card system, game specifics, the move to PS2, and even AM2 of CRI's future plans for the Dreamcast. It seems the article is also questioning the direction of the Dreamcast, from arcade releases to the PlayStation 2. The page includes screenshots of both Virtua Fighter 4 and Shenmue 2, giving fans a sneak peek at these highly anticipated games. The text mentions that Virtua Fighter 4 was shown at the AOU Expo between February 23rd and 24th, with playable footage. This page is an interview focused on Virtua Fighter 4, featuring Yu Suzuki and AM2 staff members Hiroshi Kataoka and Daichi Katagiri. It highlights the game's unveiling at the AOU Expo and public reaction to the footage. Yu Suzuki discusses the positive energy from the large crowds at the show, stating their enthusiasm became a source of vitality for the development team. The interview also touches upon the new character in Virtua Fighter 4, described as a superb fist law master, and the game's development progress, including new characters and systems being developed by Kataoka and Katagiri. The page includes images of a new Virtua Fighter character, Yu Suzuki, the AM2 staff members, and a crowd at the AOU Expo. The interview explores the positive reception and energy surrounding the reveal of Virtua Fighter 4. The next page continues the Virtua Fighter 4 coverage, with the headline asking if VF4 is a true successor to VF2, and if it can be considered a masterpiece. The interview delves deeper into the game's development, stating it's approximately 7,080% complete, comparing its progress to that of Shenmue 2. The developers discussed the new character and their fighting style, identified as Lohan First, emphasizing their aim to strike a balance between realistic martial arts and the established Virtua Fighter game system. They mentioned that Lohan First, a Chinese martial art, was chosen for its dynamic movements and appeal, and they explore how to integrate it into the Virtua Fighter system without breaking the game's balance. The conversation touches upon the character Akira, noting his powerful and weighty presence, and the overall game concept of offensive and defensive unity. The page includes screenshots of Virtua Fighter 4 gameplay and images of Yu Suzuki and the AM2 development team members. This page continues the in-depth Virtua Fighter 4 coverage, reporting that the game is currently 70 to 80% complete, drawing a parallel to Shenmue 2 at a similar development phase. The interview dives into the integration of dynamic elements and the new Lohan First fighting style, aiming to strike a balance between realistic martial arts and the established Virtua Fighter gameplay. Characters like Akira are mentioned for their powerful presence, and the concept of offensive and defensive unity is discussed. The developers highlight new features such as dynamic camera work and stage designs incorporating height differences, promising a more visually impactful experience with significantly improved graphics. Screenshots showcase in-game action and stage environments, and a photo of Yu Suzuki is included. The aim is to deliver a realistic and immersive fighting experience that resonates with players. Specific stages mentioned include a snow-covered castle stage and the return of the Wolfram stage from Virtua Fighter 2. This page continues the Virtua Fighter 4 coverage, detailing the PS2 port and the integration of a card system, emphasizing how this system enhances gameplay enjoyment. Developers explain that the card system and network features were conceived to deepen the gameplay experience, not just to follow trends, and are designed for players to enjoy the core game. They are aiming to balance the information presented on screen and visual appeal. The interview touches upon the concept of offensive and defensive unity from the previous Virtua Fighter titles, and how Virtua Fighter 4 aims to evolve this further, focusing on strategic depth with features like stage height differences. The core fighting mechanics of Virtua Fighter remain unchanged. Screenshots showcase in-game action, and photos of two developers are included, one being addressed as Kataoka Department Manager. The developers express enthusiasm for the game and highlight improvements from Virtua Fighter 2, emphasizing that Virtua Fighter 4 is designed to be enjoyable and accessible for a wide range of players. They mention that the Virtua Fighter series' fundamental appeal is maintained and not altered. The page concludes by teasing new character footage to be revealed soon for Virtua Fighter 4. This page is an emergency interview focusing on Shenmue 2 for the Dreamcast and the future of AM2 and Dreamcast development. Continuing the discussion from the previous page about Virtua Fighter 4, this interview delves into Shenmue 2. Screenshots show scenes from the Hong Kong locations featured in the game. The interview includes comments from Yu Suzuki, who discusses the Dreamcast hardware, acknowledging its balanced capabilities and expressing regret over its production being halted. He emphasizes maintaining the quality of arcade games and applying this principle to the Dreamcast version of Shenmue 2, confirming its release on the platform. The game data section lists Sega as the publisher, with both the release date and price as undecided. It is noted as a single-player game within the free, full Reactive Eyes Entertainment genre. The game's development is stated to be 75% complete. This page is all about the new systems in Shenmue 2 for the Dreamcast, focusing on making the vast Hong Kong setting easier to navigate and interact with. First up is the Navi map system, designed to stop you getting lost in the sprawling locations. Apparently, you'll be able to buy maps at the entrance to areas or within towns. Once you have a map, it's displayed on the lower left of the screen, showing your current position. You can find map vendors easily, lock onto them, and purchase maps which aren't supposed to be expensive. The in-game map can be zoomed, rotated, and even marked, making exploration much smoother. The second new system is the Action Selector, or Icon Selector. This is designed to streamline conversations and actions. Instead of going through lots of unnecessary dialogue, icons will appear on screen representing possible actions like talking, checking money, and so on. These icons are mapped to the Dreamcast controller buttons, meaning you can quickly choose your action. The icons themselves will change depending on the situation, like a lip icon for talking, or a dollar sign for money-related actions such as going to the pawn shop or finding part-time work. This should make interacting with the game world much more intuitive and efficient, focusing on the important information. This page details ways to earn money in Shenmue 2. It introduces 3 minigames: arm wrestling, marble drop, and dice game, and the pawn shop system. The arm wrestling section describes it as a simple money-making opportunity where you can challenge opponents. It mentions betting and winning money, highlighting the ready, go hands in the game. The marble drop game is described as being found in various locations. The game involves dropping a ball onto a board with nails, with the outcome depending on where the ball lands. Winning can get you money or prizes. Tekken 2 is mentioned in relation to the game, possibly as a similar concept or visual style for the board design. Different board designs are shown with varying difficulties and prizes. The dice game section explains it uses 3 dice, and you bet on whether the total will be big or small. Bets can also be placed on specific number combinations for higher payouts. Finally, the pawn shop is described as a place to sell items you acquire. You can sell items individually or in sets for potentially better prices. The page shows screenshots of item categories like Kids Group, VF Perfect, and VF Group, suggesting different item collections which could be related to Virtua Fighter. It notes that prices may vary between pawn shops. It also mentions that you could sell items acquired in the first Shenmue game. This page is dedicated to Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Quote, highlighting new movie scenes and combat system details. It showcases Kokuriko's special attack called Magic Bonbon. Screenshots demonstrate the gameplay and the ARMS new combat system. An interview with Overworks representative Uba Katsuhiro is also featured from page 40. Game data is provided including the release date of March 22nd, price of 9,800 yen for the first edition and 7,800 yen for the standard edition. Genre as ADV, dramatic adventure, and VMU compatibility. The page also mentions a special Dreamcast GD containing premium video footage of Sakura Wars 3, promising more information to come. This page from Sakura Wars 3 is Paris Burning. Magazine checks out the combat readiness, from new movie scenes to the battle system. It introduces the enigmatic enemies called Residents of Darkness, whose purpose is still shrouded in mystery, continuing their destructive actions in Paris. Among the new foes are Leon, who demands absolute obedience from humans and pilots. The Steam Beast Marche, a lion-type enemy described as fast, powerful, and resilient. There is also Steam Beast Noctuelle, a scorpion-type beast ridden by Nerdelle, who wants to elevate childish paintings to the realm of art through destruction. Nerdelle is shown poised to destroy a painting with her claw. Masque de Corbeau, dressed in black with a distinctive white feather on his hat, seeks the maiden and utilizes the crow-type Steam Beast Serenade, capable of flight and armed with machine guns, and is pictured soaring in the sky with it. Previously introduced monsters like the scissors-wielding rabbit monster Shinzo and the snake woman Picton are also shown again on this page as recurring enemies. This page reveals even more new movie scenes for Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris Burning? Quote, showcasing 4 in total. These include the activation of the light combat weapon, Glycine's light combat weapon activation, the circular train Ecriel starting up, and a scene of it passing through a station. The magazine emphasizes the seamless integration of anime and CG in these movie sequences, and encourages readers to check them out in motion on the Dreamcast GDROM. The page also details the Kubu activation sequence, focusing on the Paris-designed Kubu F. It mentions that this Kubu is surprisingly agile and easy to handle, especially for Erica. While Kubu activation scenes were previously previewed, these new scenes are stated to be even more impressive, demonstrating the full potential of the Paris Kubu, including both Erica's and Glycine's units. Accompanying screenshots illustrate the activation process, from the pilot's checks to the hatch closing, and the final activation with light and steam effects. Finally, the page highlights Glycine in her Kubu, armed with a long spear and ready for battle. The text describes her courageous stance as she prepares to fight. The screenshots capture Glycine gripping her spear and assuming a battle-ready posture. This page focuses on the bullet train Ecriel from Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning, and how it functions in the game. It explains that compared to the Kubu Light F for short-distance movement, the Ecriel is used for long-distance travel in Paris. It's described as a bullet train built in the early 1900s, utilizing existing subway lines. When the Ecriel is in operation, the platform is closed off by shutters. The page details the Sakura Wars version of the light combat weapon loading scene, showing how the Kubu is loaded onto the Ecriel. In Sakura Wars 2, the Ecriel also appears, but the movie scenes incorporate new elements, offering a different impression. The explanation continues, with signal lights and warnings during Ecriel launch and arrival, showcasing the preparation sequence. It mentions the platform scene is a normal everyday occurrence, contrasting with the sudden emergency alarm and steam release from the platform when the Ecriel is about to depart, surprising the Parisian citizens. The page concludes with staff rushing around at the time of departure, highlighting the tense atmosphere. Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning? Releasing soon, introduces the Paris Flower Troupe and their Kubu F units. Ogami's unit is a close-range fighter with katana swords. Erica's focuses on support with a cross-themed design. Glycine's unit uses a spear reflecting her noble heritage. Hanabi's Kubu F, designed for archery, features a bow and arrow, with a special attack unleashing a rain of arrows. The game retains cooperative and combined attacks alongside a new friendship counter. Returning features include the RM system and the information command for checking unit stats. The communication command provides hints, and visual memory utilizes the Dreamcast VMU for displaying battle information. enhancing strategic gameplay. The next page continues to detail the combat mechanics of Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris burning? Yes. It introduces Coquelicot, who pilots a pink kubu, and uses a mysterious weapon described as a trumpet-like object. Her special attack is called Magique Bonbon, which translates to Magic Bonbon, and involves using magical candy balls in combat. Lobelia Carlini is also featured, wielding large claws as her primary weapon for direct attacks. Her special attack is named Fianma Un Gear, which translates to Flame Claw King Gear, described as a powerful fire-based claw attack. The page also highlights returning features like cooperative attacks, activated when team members are close, and combined attacks, which are powerful Team UP moves. A new friendship counter mechanic is explained, where if an ally is targeted, a counterattack can occur, negating damage and resetting the enemy's action gauge to 0. Screenshots illustrate these attacks and combat scenarios. The next page dives deeper into the combat system of Sakura Wars 3. Is Paris burning? Through a special interview with Noriyoshi Owoba, the game's producer and head of Overworks, Osbe emphasizes that battle scenes are extremely important in Sakura Wars, drawing from player feedback on the previous games. He highlights the new ARMS, or Active and Real-Time Machine System, designed to make battles more intuitive and engaging. ARMS aims to seamlessly blend the adventure and battle parts, allowing players to build relationships with the heroines and then utilize special moves in combat. The system incorporates elements like attack counts, defense, movement range, and real-time actions. Osiba mentions they are basing it on simulation game systems, but are addressing the typical downsides, like tedious controls and slow tempo, to make it more accessible, especially for female players. The page features screenshots showcasing the battle interface, a cockpit view from within a Kubu mecha, and an enemy character, a clown-like figure wielding a shovel, proclaiming to cut Paris, cut Pion, cut Pion. O reveals the design philosophy behind the new combat system focused on ease of play and deep engagement, crucial for the Sakura Wars experience. Sakura Wars 3 boasts an intuitive battle system designed for direct character control and satisfying action, prioritizing feel over complex simulation elements. Producer Oba emphasizes the importance of easy-to-learn controls, avoiding tedium, and creating a rewarding experience, such as performing powerful combos. The game's VM screen provides strategic information, deepening gameplay. Ogeva highlights the engaging character dialogue during battles and the focus on allowing players to embody the role of the Imperial Assault Force captain. A Parisian setting is faithfully recreated, immersing players in the city. The game, announced in 1999, will be featured in the upcoming Dreamcast Magazine issue, including the opening movie and theme song. Screenshots showcase the battle system, Ohiba playing, battle scenes, and Parisian environments. This page is dedicated to fan submissions for Sakura Wars, specifically highlighting the upcoming release of Sakura Wars 3. It is titled, Sakura Imperial Capital and Paris Opera Company Support Page Revised, and announces Sakura Wars 3 coming this month for sale. Imperial Capital and Paris Opera Company, all members included. The page features a this week's One Piece fan art submission from Tsukishima Eitaro in Tokyo. The main section showcases fan art submissions from various prefectures across Japan, with each entry including the artist's prefecture and name alongside their artwork. The fan art is organized by prefecture and artist name and includes character illustrations. Featured fan artists are Uryu Hayato from Hokkaido, Fujino Ryo from Fukui, Kazu Sawada from Gunma, Tamatsuki Maria from Tochigi, Yasuyasi from Oita, Kani Kaniyu and Hayase Mikuru from Osaka, Kosuzu Sho from Fukuoka, Kanmuri Judokuya from Aomori, Pius Kei from Saitama, Kan Maru from Miyagi, Ayase Akira from Hyogo, Kikuzu and Jinmu Judokuya both from Kanagawa. A section titled Little Cat Ears refers to the popular cat-tiered Erika theme, showcasing fan art of Erika in a cat costume and other cat-themed Sakura Wars illustrations. This fan art showcase focuses on Sakura Wars 3, featuring submissions from various Japanese artists. Artwork includes character illustrations, with styles ranging from battle attire and shikabi figures to maid themes and depictions of characters in diverse settings. Featured artists include Komura Kazuhito, Nakamura Rushi, and others from across Japan, with artwork showcasing characters like Maria, Lobelia, and Kana. The next submission theme is 4-panel manga, based on the Imperial Capital Opera Company, encouraging humorous content. The popular Mel and CNI corner is highlighted. Included are 4-panel comic strips by Tsukishima Akira, Nii Yoderu, Yunimo Rimor, and Nakamura Rushi, covering topics like maid costumes, French cuisine, cooking, and the manga creation process. This page is a promotional feature for the horror game Ill Bleed, subtitled, "The Biggest Horror Theme Park in History, Where the Forbidden Door Opens." The game is described as a horror theme park-styled ghost house game, mixing horror, action, gags, and mystery elements, questioning if it's reality or a nightmare. The page highlights the game as this week's Dreamcast Magazine cover feature and includes game data such as the release date of March 29th, price of 5,800 yen or 9,800 yen for a limited edition with figure and DirectD version, single player, 7 blocks of memory, and genre listed as, etc., Virtual Horrorland. The official website is also listed as http://www.crazygames.co.jp/. Screenshots showcase various gruesome characters and horror-themed environments from the game Ill Bleed. This page continues the feature on Ill Bleed, a horror-themed Dreamcast title. It introduces the 4 members of the slightly maniac-y horror research club, who are the main characters. The game's premise is outlined. High school students are lured to Ill Bleed by a 100 million yen prize for clearing the haunted house attraction. The characters are introduced: Michelle, Randy, Eriko, and Kaoru. Each character gets a brief description. For example, Randy Fenbanks from the rugby club is described as a meathead horror fan who likes B-movie semi-nude zombie movies and wants to buy a new chainsaw if he wins the prize money. Kaoru Waters is described as a strong-willed occultist interested in horror movies featuring evil spirits and zombies. Eriko Christie is the student council president and head of the horror research club. Her past traumas are mentioned to be related to horror and fear. A screenshot shows Eriko at the 18th annual high school speech competition. The plot thickens as the other 3 members decide to enter Ill Bleed, despite Eriko's warnings, driven by the lure of the prize money. Eriko, concerned for their safety, later follows them into Ill Bleed. The page ends with the question, "What is happening in Ill Bleed?" and a screenshot of the entrance gate to the horror park. This page continues the Ill Bleed feature, and it's all about the scares. Ill Bleed is described as a horror-themed park made by a horror movie producer, and it's seriously dangerous, with real death being a threat. Stage 1 is titled, "The Home Run Goes to Death," and it's set in a hotel. This stage has a baseball theme, and it's about a father's revenge because his son Jimmy died in a hotel fire. The hotel stage has strange locations, like a hospital and even a baseball field underground. You'll find shock events, which are traps, all over the hotel, and you need to use a horror monitor item to detect and avoid them. Enemies include a talking baseball bat, and the stage boss is called Bump Blow, who uses a flamethrower, so you are advised to just run away from him. The shock events are random each time you play, so memorizing them is not very useful. This page introduces Stage 2 of Ill Bleed, titled The Revenge of Queen Worm, featuring giant earthworms in a campground setting. In this stage, the horror monitor item that was useful in the previous stage is disabled for some reason, making things more challenging. The setting is a campground that has been turned into a breeding ground for giant worms, once a place where people enjoyed interacting with mountain dogs and attractions like a drive-in theater. Now, it's a wasteland littered with destroyed vehicles, the work of the giant worms. Gameplay in this stage revolves around evading attacks from giant earthworms. These massive worms move underground and attack when you get close. They can't go under concrete, so escaping to concrete roads is advised when in danger, offering a safe haven to rest. There's a section discussing search tactics, suggesting that players can carefully mark numerous suspicious locations to investigate. However, relying solely on marking every spot might deplete your adrenaline quickly. It's implied you need to be more selective with your searches. The stage objective is to rescue Michelle at the end of the stage. It's also mentioned that in Stage 1, you rescued Kevin. The page teases a confrontation with the Queen Worm boss. Normal attacks are said to be ineffective against her, hinting at a need to exploit weaknesses using your senses. The final screenshot shows the player facing off against a massive worm, presumably the Queen Worm boss. An interview with Ill Bleed's creators, Tetsuro Sugimori and Nobuya Nishigaki, reveals the game's unique nature. Initially dismissed as silly, playing Ill Bleed unveiled its depth, prompting a reevaluation. The game is nearing completion, with Sugimori polishing the final touches. Nishigaki describes Illbleed as a concentrated experience, promising horror, humor, mystery, and emotion. In short, engaging bursts. The interview highlights the game's design to avoid boredom through constant events and scares, structured chronologically. While they aimed for 100% of their vision, they feel they achieved around 30%, but still believe the game is enjoyable. American reception has been very positive, with the game being recognized as genuine horror, unlike its initial perception in Japan. The game is also a hit in Italy, with overseas reception exceeding that in Japan. Screenshots and magazine covers showcase the horror-themed, action-oriented gameplay. This interview with Illbleed creators Nishigaki and Sugimori delves into the game's true ending and the Nishigaki world concept. Nishigaki describes his world as raw, unfiltered reality, embracing human weakness and negativity, including loneliness and betrayal, reflecting the inherent solitude of humans. Sugimori highlights the true ending as a challenging feat, achievable by a small percentage of players, urging them to discover its conditions themselves. The last line of dialogue in this ending is considered the most crucial, and the path to it is bizarre. To encourage players, a true ending challenge contest is running. Participants who find the true ending and report the keyword to Crazy Games by October 10th are eligible for prizes, including staff jumpers. Hints can be found in other endings, as indicated by the promotional material. The interview page also features images of the creators, a game screenshot, and promotional materials related to the contest. The next page reports on the Illbleed 100,000 yen challenge event held at Shibuya Bit Tours. The challenge was to clear stage 1 of Illbleed within 90 minutes to win a 100,000 yen prize. The first challenger, Yoshihara Yoshinobu from Osaka, successfully cleared the stage with 3 minutes to spare and won the prize money, which he plans to use to study abroad in Australia. The event took place on February 24th and was commentated on by Nishigaki. The page features screenshots of the game's clear result screen and photographs from the event, including the moment Yoshihara received his prize money. It highlights the difficulty of the challenge and Yoshihara's determination, emphasizing his journey from Osaka and his resolve to win the prize. This page continues the report on the Illbleed 100,000 yen challenge event at Shibuya Bit Tours. Even in the rain, the event continued with the second challenger, Mr. Gojukura Hidenobu from Kawasaki, trying his hand at stage 1 of Illbleed. The article highlights the in-game difficulty, mentioning the adrenaline mechanic, which is proving to be challenging, and a shock moment when the player took a wrong turn. We see a screenshot of the game interface and a photo of a stressed-looking Gojukura. The Illbleed gals, campaign girls Shida Kanako and Ida Motomi, are also featured, braving the cold in miniskirts to promote the game. Unfortunately, Gojukura also failed the challenge, and the page shows his dejected reaction. There's a breakdown of the reactions from passers-by observing the event, with Mania Da being the top reaction from 12 people, followed by Blood Da from 8, and Sega Da from 5, and Interesting and Scary, tying for 4th place with 2 votes each. The event wrapped up as the sun set over Spain's slope, with the first winner already securing the 100,000 yen prize. The page concludes with a thank you message and a photo of the first winner, Yoshihara, next to a Dreamcast arcade cabinet. This page is a feature on Culdicept II, the sequel to the original card-based board game. The article explains the storyline, stating that a powerful scepter became a god and created a new world. However, one scepter desired to take over the position of Kaldra, the creator god, which threatens to destroy the universe. Kalgridra foresaw this destruction in Soltaris and dispatched scepters to Soltaris to find a strong scepter to oppose the destroyer. The page highlights that in this new world, battles between scepters will begin again, and it promises to deliver new information about network functions and other new elements of Culdicept II. Explaining the basic system for those unfamiliar with Culdicept. Game data section shows the developer is Media Factory/Omiya Soft. The release date is planned for 2001 and the price is TBD. It notes it's for 1 to 4 players and is a trading card board game. The website address is also provided. This page details the basic gameplay system of Culdicept II, a trading card board game. It explains the winning condition is to be the first player to reach the target magic power. Magic is obtained by stopping on your own territories to collect tolls from other players, and by leveling up territories to increase their value. Card magic can also provide magic. The page describes the circuit concept, where players must return to their castle, the starting point, after passing through all forts on the map to receive a bonus. It highlights land links, which occur when players control lands of the same attribute within the same area, increasing land value. Finally, it explains battles are initiated when a player stops on another player's territory. Players summon creatures from their hand to fight. If the territory owner loses, they lose money. The page also mentions that magic cards can be used to support creatures during battles. Screenshots illustrate gameplay scenarios, including card details, map views with characters moving on a board, and battle scenes. This page announces new features for Culdiceps II, focusing on network battles and new card additions. It introduces a new terrain type called the Fortune Teller's House, which replaces card shops. Here you can choose the type of card you want from your book, like creatures, spells, or items. A new card ability, Whole Map Ability, is also detailed. This ability, when placed on a territory, impacts all creatures and lands across the entire map continuously, as long as the card remains. The page also introduces new characters. Princess Scepter Serena and her younger brother Scepter Leo, providing brief backstories for each. Additionally, it features Goligan, a character from the previous Culdiceps game who has ascended to godhood and is involved in the narrative of Culdiceps II. Screenshots showcase gameplay, creature cards, and in-game menus. The next page reveals that Culdiceps II is adding over 100 new cards to enrich the gameplay. A new alliance rule is introduced for multiplayer mode, where players can team up, pooling their magic power and benefiting from no toll fees when moving across allied territories. A key focus is the network functionality, highlighting the inclusion of a chat feature, allowing for in-game communication during battles, useful for strategic coordination or just casual banter. Examples of the new cards being added are Peace, Succubus, Golem, and Vitality, all displayed on the page. Finally, the page mentions an upcoming report, which will cover the presentation event for Culdiceps II. This page focuses on Eldorado Gate Volume 4, highlighting Episode 11, titled Holy Knight Gigi. The page introduces Gigi, described as having a peculiar destiny even amongst her companions, and the daughter of the leader of the Phantom Holy Knights. It seems the story begins with the main character, Manma's interest in food, with screenshots showing in-game scenes of Manma and Erishin planning a culinary journey to Arunbira town. A news section announces a change in the release date for Eldorado Gate Volume 4 to April 12th. It also reveals that the Eldorado Gate series will conclude with Volume 7. The subsequent release schedule is detailed. Volume 5 will be released on June 6th, Volume 6 on August 8th, and Volume 7 on October 10th. Game data details confirm Eldorado Gate Volume 4 is scheduled for release on April 12th and will cost 2,800 yen, 120 points. It's a single-player RPG requiring 16 memory blocks and supports both VGA output and Dreamcast modem for network features. The game's official homepage is also listed. The bottom section reiterates the bi-monthly release schedule for the remaining volumes up to Volume 7. This page continues the coverage of Eldorado Gate Volume 4, focusing on Episode 11, Holy Knight Gigi. It delves into the story of Manma and his companions' stay in Arunbira. During their stay, an incident occurs where Manma's precious small dagger and a companion's energy core are stolen in their shared room. The page introduces Barl, the man whose energy core was stolen. He is described as a swordsman and a member of the Phantom Holy Knights. Gigi, another Holy Knight, appears pursuing Beryl. The story revolves around the stolen energy core, which is more important to Beryl than his own life. The page then details the encounter with Gigi, who appears suddenly seeking the energy core. It mentions that Gigi is a Holy Knight and uses light-based magic stones like W-Light and W-Lighten. She is a formidable opponent and could be a valuable magic stone user if she were to become an ally. The article touches upon the Phantom Holy Knights, described as legendary and having hidden their existence for many years, only revealing themselves to those with destiny. It poses the question of whether the protagonist will eventually face God in the story. The screenshots showcase scenes from the game, including dialogue and battles, highlighting characters Manma, Erishin, Barl, and Gigi. It also mentions the thief is named Bubtan. Eldorado Gate Volume 4, Episodes 9 and 10, are summarized. Episode 9, Mima's Busy Day, sees Mima and Gomez on a fairy hunt in the Sakya Plain to cure Ava, one of Ava's grandmothers, of an illness. Erishin and Ayan also become involved. A CEHCK section details healing fairies and a sealed entity in the plains, plus the Grand Press monster, embodying homicidal intent. Episode 10,
Eat Manma.
Demon Lord is alive? Features Pamela in a martial arts tournament in Arunbira. She seeks allies, and is tasked by Alan to find his son, Manma. Gomez and Pamela battle, with Gomez gaining the berserk ability. Alan's village is attacked, and Corinne is present. The attack may relate to Manma, and the rumors of a still-living demon lord, who devastated the area 10 years prior, deeply affecting Alan. This page focuses on Eldorado Gate Volume 4, and introduces the Property Shop, a new feature where players can change the elemental properties of their weapons. This shop is run by the daughter of the Synthesis Shop owner who was previously introduced. The shop allows players to imbue weapons with fire, water, or tree elements. The process involves selecting an item and then choosing the desired element, requiring payment in Zenny. The page explains that even normally weak weapons can become powerful with elemental properties, enhancing strategic combat options. It also provides information on the Holy Knight Order within Eldorado Gate, describing them as chosen individuals, gifted with exceptional abilities by the omnipotent god Dios, tasked with maintaining world order and peace through Dios's teachings and suppression of those who defy them. The page features character art of Gigi and Pearl, described as members of the Holy Knight Order, noting their attire and potential significance to the Holy Knights. The next page introduces Cain Sabo, the Virgin on Megiddo, an adventure game. This title is highlighted as the latest work by popular illustrator Mamoru Yokota, known for character designs that are sure to attract attention. The page showcases newly revealed character illustrations. 3 characters are profiled. Ritsuko Osanai, aged 37, whose details are unclear, but her demeanor and white coat suggest she is a medical researcher. Father Edmund, aged 40, whose background is also shrouded in mystery, but his name and attire point to him being a priest, possibly linked to the Virgin subtitle of the game. Daimon Karyuin, aged 45, exudes an imposing presence, and while his name Karyuin might suggest a connection to Karyuin Tomoe, the text dismisses any blood relation as unimaginable. A creator's check section features a comment from Mamoru Yokota, stating his character design concept is to create straight images of each character, ensuring teachers look like teachers and sisters appear pure, emphasizing straightforward visual representation of their roles. Cain Sabo, the Virgin on Megiddo, introduces several characters. Renji Kakinuma, a mysterious 50-year-old, Shiro Myokin, a sharp museum director, Teruo Tajika, a rebellious 17-year-old, and Sister Madeline, a dedicated young nun. Developed by Studio Line and Mamoru Yokota for Dreamcast, players assume the role of Rando Kenjin, a detective apprentice, investigating strange events in the futuristic Izanami City. The game focuses on clue gathering and mystery solving, with potential romance and Yokota's character designs. Gameplay features a menu with options like Investigate and Deduce. Screenshots hint at surprising gameplay elements, including dialogue snippets about jellyfish and Sister Madeline's inquiries. The game promises a service-filled experience with beautiful anime cutscenes. This page previews the Dreamcast title Cain Sabo, the Virgin on Megiddo, detailing its story and gameplay. The story is set in Izanami City in 2013, a high-tech city facing strange incidents and bizarre occurrences that players must investigate. The gameplay features a move mode, where players explore the city locations and gather clues. 3 main characters are introduced: Mizuki Akimura, a responsible 16-year-old, Yoko Mikano, a boyish and energetic 16-year-old, and Tomoe Karyuin, a determined 15-year-old. Character files provide details on their personalities and traits. Creator Mamoru Yokota offers a creator's check comment discussing the game's scenario and development. Carries. Screenshots show gameplay environments, including a city map and interior locations, emphasizing the clue-gathering and investigative aspects of the game. This page continues to introduce the Dreamcast adventure game, Cain Sabo, the Virgin on Megiddo. It highlights the game's adventure mode, where players investigate the truth by listening to people's stories and gathering clues within Izanami City. The page details gameplay mechanics, explaining that players explore locations and investigate incidents, emphasizing thorough investigation and deduction. 3 more characters are introduced: Shino Moriguchi, a bright and cheerful 15-year-old moodmaker, Hanase Kitagawa, a 16-year-old level-headed student council member, and Remi Kanzaki, a 26-year-old determined journalist. Each character's personality and role are briefly described in character files. The page showcases the game's system interface, featuring move and action commands. It explains that selecting icons on the screen allows players to perform various actions and advance the story. Creator Mamoru Yokota's Creator's Check section emphasizes the importance of game balance and user-friendliness, noting that even a grand story can be diminished by stressful systems or tedious gameplay. A cosplay big recruitment section is featured, inviting readers to submit cosplay photos in the style of Seishao High School uniforms for a chance to be featured in the magazine and receive a commemorative gift from Studio Line. This page is an advertisement for the Saskatsuku Special Issue J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru complete guide for the Sega Dreamcast game J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru, which was released internationally as Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager 2000. This complete guide is advertised as the Decision Edition and boasts complete capture and complete analysis. The guide is presented as a comprehensive resource covering all aspects of the game, highlighting management, training, team strategy, and personnel affairs as the 4 key elements thoroughly analyzed. It promises to reveal all the most important points for effective gameplay. Further details indicate the guide is 480 pages long, all in color, and priced at 1,800 yen. It emphasizes practical advice on club management, efficient resource utilization, player development, strategic team building, and understanding player and team characteristics. The guide also claims to include detailed data on 4,988 players, managers, and scouts, along with 1,008 scout names. The advertisement also announces upcoming publications in March. Saskatsuku Special Issue J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, Player Directory, and Saskatsuku Special Issue J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, Fanbook Provisional. This page is an advertisement for 2 guidebooks for Phantasy Star Online. The first guide, titled Phantasy Star Online Perfect Guide, is promoted as the ultimate resource for hunters, packed with valuable data and materials. This 272-page, full-color guide is priced at 1,800 yen plus tax and offers complete from character creation to the depths of Planet Regal. It features detailed class-specific area walkthroughs, numerous Hunter Guild quest guides, comprehensive item lists including special weapons, and an exclusive developer interview. The second guide, Phantasy Star Online Navigation Guide, is positioned as the starting point for exploring Planet Regal. This 112-page, full-color guide is priced at 1,200 yen and provides essential strategy information. It includes detailed explanations from character creation to network setup, valuable tips and techniques for both online and offline play, thorough guidance for the game's early stages, perfect instruction on basic character development, and extensive weapon, item, and enemy data, along with detailed technique explanations. Both guides are advertised as currently on sale. This page highlights Metropolis Street Racer, known as MSR, for the Sega Dreamcast. It's presented as an overseas Dreamcast game that is highly regarded, even though it's also slated for release in Japan. The game is published by Sega and was already on sale from January 17, 2001, priced at around 5,400 yen or $49.44. It has an everyone rating. The game supports the race controller, VGA box, jump pack, and modem. The article suggests that if you can't wait for the Japanese release of MSR, getting the overseas version is a good idea, especially if you have an overseas Dreamcast console. It describes MSR as a game where you race through real-world city streets using actual cars. It also mentions radio-like background music and the game's time being synchronized with real time. The page includes screenshots showing the game's menu with options like street racing, time attack, quick race, internet, and options. It also features a shot of the game in action, racing through city streets. The back of the game box is also shown, detailing features like street-pounding racing action, various cars, and multiple modes. The opening movie is praised for blending game footage with real-life car footage, starting with a close-up of a man's face, creating a compelling visual experience. The article emphasizes that this opening movie is a must-see. Metropolis Street Racer, MSR, is praised for its realistic driving experience, particularly within its street racing mode. Players earn kudo points through missions like achieving lap times across 25 sessions, with retries available. Completing stages unlocks new cars. The game features detailed recreations of London, San Francisco, and Tokyo, each with diverse course layouts and iconic landmarks. Over 40 realistically modeled cars from 14 manufacturers are available, with a focus on open-top models and offering customization options for colors, ABS, and tints. MSR is lauded for its immersive visuals and sound, providing a unique racing experience. The author enjoyed the game and expresses interest in the Japanese version, highlighting the game's strong sense of realism. This page is an advertisement for SoftBank's lineup of strategy guides. It highlights guides currently on sale, mid-March releases, early March releases, and upcoming guides. Guides currently available include those for Saskatsuku Special Edition J-League Professional Soccer Club Wotsukuru 2. Favorite Deer, Junpaku no Yogensha. Rival Schools, United by Fate, Guilty Gear X, 100 Swords, Arrow Dancing 1, Suganai, Atonement, and Ultimate Fighting Championship. For mid-March, guides for Tekken Tag Tournament, Mobile Suit Gundam Volume 1, Fire Pro Wrestling D, and Densha to Go 3 Commuter Edition are listed. Coming soon are Persona World Guidance and Reprint Edition Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, which are described as data collection books. The advertisement features an anime-style girl on the left side, likely to attract readers. Free Talk with Robo features reader submissions. One regrets a Saturn purchase but enjoys the Dreamcast, mentioning Dreamcast 3 tastes. Another discusses chocolate making, followed by a debate on violence in games, citing Mr. Driller and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Other topics include online chat shortcuts and online gaming, with Dragon Ball Online and Phantasy Star Online mentioned, along with Biohazard 2, Resident Evil 2. The Sega No. 1 section with a mascot illustration highlights item loss and a journey. An announcement is made for the Knights app service. Miku Party is also featured with character art. The Dori Hero Weekly schedule lists Dreamcast events and game releases from March 9th-15th, including titles like Dukoku Soshite, Sakura Taisen 2, Thou Shalt Not Die, Colony Wars, Vengeance, Samba de Amigo Ver 2000, Cyber Troopers Virtual On-Force, White Illumination, and Puzzle Bobble 4. This page showcases reader art and entertainment recommendations. Dreammaker Art Class features illustrations, including one of Thunder Force V and Rain X. The Robo and Miku section presents reader comics, with comments appreciating the humor, composition, and mentions of PSO desire to play. Dreamcast Recommended Movie Cinemas highlights Octopus, a Monster Panic film, as the opening of the Bomb Battle Movie Festival at Cineripple Ikebukuro. The movie festival schedule is listed from March 31st to April 27th, including various action and thriller titles. A ranking chart of movies reveals Unbreakable as the top choice, followed by Pay It Forward and Crimson River, among others. This page showcases reader art, featuring a section called Dreammaker Art Class. There are several illustrations, including one of 100 Swords, with a comment about power. Another is of Fighting Vipers, with a comment praising the cuteness of the character. Pixel art featuring Guilty Gear X, specifically Venom and Faust, is also highlighted, with the artist expressing surprise at achieving this level of detail in VM. An ink painting of Akira, related to Justice League, is present, with a comment appreciating the dynamic pose. Finally, an illustration for Gika no Kenshi, with a comment mentioning light and stillness. The lower part of the page is titled Hiroaki Hayama's Deep Factory Volume 24. It features articles on mobile phone no's, discussing the annoyance of mobile phone sounds in public spaces, and questioning the warning stickers about mobile phone usage due to pacemaker interference on trains. Another article is titled Internet, discussing the current internet boom, comparing it to the U.S. situation, and contemplating the future of internet and gaming in Japan. It also mentions Hiroaki Hayama's first full vocal album, Tomorrow Will Be Sunny, being on sale. This magazine page highlights reader submissions, showcasing fan-created art of DC characters and favorites, like those from Guilty Gear X and Sakura Wars. It also features a virtual love consultation room with mentions of Fumi card collections and references to Dreamcast Magazine content. The Hoshuwao section previews character merchandise. 2 books are advertised: Taiko Graphics Work and Surroundings, a design portfolio, and Crackpot, essays by John Waters. Finally, a Book Me Ranking lists games from February 16 to 28, 2001. Top-ranked titles include Himemeguri Ahiru Manma and Tales of Eternia Official Guidebook less than PS greater than, with other entries spanning various genres and platforms like PlayStation, PC, and Dreamcast. The ranking includes pricing and publisher details. This page showcases upcoming game release information and reader submissions. In the Release Date Anticipation Bulletin section, various Dreamcast games and features are teased. Virtual Network Game Go promotes online Dreamcast gaming. Detective Jinguji Saburo is seeking player input on the Story 2 series mysteries. Real Image Sega Gaga is highlighted as a humorous and anticipated title. Further bulletins include Dream-seeking dream-related reader submissions, Ooh is saying, asking for touching episodes related to Ooh, and Taichu Hachi Zize, inquiring about Dorama Gaga episodes. The Sega Ichi Manga Way section is a call for aspiring manga artists to submit their work. Namco Soul encourages reader contributions about Namco game memories and illustrations. Wordtale Kotodama Godao explores the nuances of Japanese word endings. A reader's question about the etiquette of licking ice cream lids sparks responses from other readers, sharing their opinions and experiences. Finally, Iwase Noriyuki World Music Paradise discusses the changing landscape of music distribution, mentioning Napster and online music, while highlighting the game music compilation Best of Grandia. It mentions downloading artist information from a homepage and the impact of internet distribution on record companies and CD sales. This page continues with reader submissions and upcoming CD release information. In the Dori Hiroba Goikenban section, readers share their opinions. One reader from Tokyo discusses the trend of predefined protagonists in recent RPGs and strategy games, contrasting it with older games where players had more freedom to customize their characters. Another submission, also from Tokyo, talks about Sega fans and the desire for Sega to focus on creating unique and engaging original titles, emphasizing the importance of Dreamcast exclusive software and expressing a wish for Sega to prioritize users and create games that make players happy they bought a Dreamcast. There's also a section titled Free Distribution Plan Shota Corner, featuring manga and character illustrations. It seems to be a humorous corner for reader contributions, with a focus on Shota themes, likely referring to young boys in manga and anime style. The next week's Aftercards section contains snippets of reader comments which are brief and humorous. Finally, the This Week's CD Release Information section highlights several music releases. Albums include Insomnia by Chihiro Kito, and Phase to Fate, a live album by Surface. Maxi singles featured are I No Melody by V6, Never Ever by Ayumi Hamasaki, Boku no Tokoro made by Susu, and Heartbeat by Kiko. The descriptions mention genres like ballad, pop tunes, and Latin influences for these various music singles and albums. This page continues the reader submission section focused on Shenmue Final Chapter. The page showcases various reader interpretations and humorous takes on the Shenmue series. One submission titled Shenmue Multitending One Shortest Route Ending presents a funny scenario with an old woman in a game scene. Shenmue the movie humorously describes a movie adaptation with dramatic reactions, mentioning crying and director Steven Spielberg. Shenmue MSX Chapter is a comic strip style panel suggesting a retro MSX version of Shenmue. Shenmue 2 Memory Scene shows a character smoking and another in bed, implying a memorable moment. A section named Free Spirit Corner of this magazine, Shenmue Follow-Up Contents Corner, describes itself as a corner for readers to freely submit ideas for Shenmue follow-up content. Examples from readers include Carmen Osawa from Gunma, presenting a paper doll-style Shenmue character with detachable clothes, Yamada Logan from Aichi with a character design idea, Non Yorkdale from Hokkaido also with a character design, and Uni Monoren from Kanagawa showing another character design. These seem to be readers' creative interpretations of Shenmue characters or scenarios. The page also features Southern Beauty OMI in Wonderland, a diary entry by Omi, discussing the changing seasons and her enjoyment of emails. Love Dog Buin's Diary is a diary entry from a dog's perspective, humorously describing observations about its owner going to Okinawa. Finally, Omi's information section discusses mobile phones and invites readers to share fun mobile phone uses and questions, with an address on page 76 for Southern Beauty Relations. This magazine features reader-submitted content across various corners. Dream Manga includes humorous comics like One Misinterpreting Sushi. Oshino Brothers and Sisters presents Ninja Sibling Training. Things I Hate lists reader complaints, ranging from specific game titles, Lamen 24 Hours, PSO, and character names, Cocorico, to general frustrations like late players, unfair gameplay, and limited character options. The point ranking section tallies contributor scores tied to games like Super Strike and 30 yen. Submission rules for the Dream Hiroba Corner specify format and submission instructions. Corner information details numerous other reader interaction sections, including manga, opinion boxes, and forums for diverse interests. Fumio Kurokawa's Burning Publicist column discusses the PlayStation Meeting 2001. Kurokawa notes the event's focus on PS, PS2, and PS1 sales and future plans, particularly mobile. He highlights Sega's strong support for broadband and the collaborative effort between Sega and Sony on related initiatives, observing a shift from past rivalry. While the future remains uncertain, Kurokawa notes a mixed but positive atmosphere among Sega staff. The column also includes Kurokawa's profile and recent news, where he reviewed the movie Crimson Rivers. Finally, the column concludes with Game Industry Weekly News headlines, summarizing news about Game Boy Advance pre-orders, Namco's ambitions, discounted GameCube consoles, Sony's AIBO robot, discussions on gaming population trends, and Sega's voluntary retirement program for 300 employees. A remastered DVD box set of the anime Detective Holmes is being released. This series, a slapstick adventure based on Conan Doyle's novels but with dog characters, notably features the involvement of director Hayao Miyazaki, who directed or produced 4 of the 6 episodes. The set includes all 26 episodes across 5 discs, bonus content like promotional materials, English openings and endings, and image boards. The story adapts elements from the original novels, with Holmes, Watson, Mrs. Hudson, and Professor Moriarty as main characters. It includes plot summaries of 4 episodes. Additionally, a limited edition DVD BOX of Berserk Kenpu Denki will be released on March 20th, containing all 25 episodes with special features and setting materials, a booklet, and a calendar, with artwork by Kentaro Miura. This page details anime DVD, VHS releases, and TV broadcast schedules. DVD and VHS releases include Argento Soma Volume 2 and Dirty Pair Flash 2 OVA First Stage on March 23rd, Gear Fighter Dendo TV, Stellar Battle Flag Volume 07, and Story of Young Grass Volume 1 on March 25th. Rentals available March 9th include Shobushi Legend Tetsuya Second Chapter, Mashuranbo Volume 7, and Kindaichi Case Files Volume 40. Time Bokan 2000 Kaitu Kiramekiman, Volume 6 is also available for rental from March 25th. And Magic Princess Minky Momo DVD BOX 3 is scheduled for release on March 23rd. TV broadcasts include Fang of the Sun Dugram on Anime Theater X, ATX, and Sky Perfect TV, starting March 23rd, and Legend of the Galactic Heroes on Kids Station starting in April, with marathon broadcasts of selected episodes in March. This page features the 109th episode of the manga Samsung Yoshimatsu Theater with the subtitle, Cast is Forever. The manga strip is a humorous take on the games industry, particularly focusing on Virtua Fighter 4. Characters are shown discussing the impressive animation and realism of Virtua Fighter 4, expressing their eagerness to play it. There's a moment of reflection on Sega's future in the gaming landscape. With a sense of uncertainty, a character points out a game package, humorously described as vertical long, and the characters express surprise at the announcement of Virtua Fighter 4 also being released for the PlayStation 2. The strip ends by acknowledging the vastness of the game industry and declaring game love as the theme. Virtua Fighter 4, or VF4 as it is abbreviated in the comic, is the central game mentioned. The next page is a column titled Bi-Weekly Column Iroiro Desuku by manga artist Takemoto Izumi, episode number 53, A Day's Time Slip. In this episode, the author reminisces about anime and videotapes from about 20 years ago, recalling recording anime OP and ED sequences and watching them while working. This triggers a thought about time slips and memories. The author reflects on anime from 20 years prior, and then even further back to anime from 35 years prior, before they had a VCR as a child. The author then discusses generational shifts in popularity, starting with Ultraman and Ultra 7, then Kamen Rider, followed by the Gundam generation as the current mainstream, predicting that in about 5 years the world will be in the Bikukuriman generation, extending to games also. Further into the future, the author imagines Mini 4WD and then Pokemon generations emerging. The author humorously questions what the topic of the column actually was. The column concludes with a note from Takemoto Izumi, mentioning they are recently aging and becoming a manga artist. This page features an interview with the rock band Jan de Arc about their new album, ZHARD. The interview discusses the band's hard sound and catchy melodies, aiming to express their true essence in this new work. The members describe their music as hard rock and heavy metal with progressive elements. When asked about games, the band members enthusiastically reveal they are game fans. Basekai. Guitarist Yu mentions they become very relaxed when talking about games compared to music. They reminisce about playing Famicom games like Ice Climber and Xevious. Another member, Kyo on keyboards, mentions that Vagrant Story was a game they recently enjoyed. Guitarist Yu also mentions his childhood dream was to create game music, citing Bowie as an inspiration. Vocalist Yasu says his reason for starting a band was also influenced by Bowie, initially starting with Yasu and Yu. The article includes a profile of Jan de Arc, stating they formed in 1996 with the current members Yu, Kyo, Yasu, Kaya, and Shuji. They started band activities in 1996 and made their major debut in May 1999 with Red Zone. Their first full album, DNA, was released in January 2000, followed by ZHRD on February 28. The profile also includes fan club membership information. The next page is an advertisement for 2 official strategy guidebooks. The first is for Aero Dancing In, the flight simulator known internationally as Aerowings 2, Airstrike. This guide promises to be the only official and complete guide, covering all missions, beginner tips, aircraft details, and online battle strategies. The second guide advertised is for 100 Swords, a real-time strategy game, and is described as a perfect guide covering maps, units, items, and all strategies for complete, which means strategy and walkthrough. This magazine features a reader survey covering gaming habits and preferences. The survey asks about demographics, magazine subscriptions, Dreamcast ownership, hardware and games, attendance at amusement expos, future hardware and software purchases, and opinions on the current issue's cover. Accompanying the survey are lists. Table 2 details Dreamcast hardware, console, peripherals, and competing systems like N64, PlayStation, and Xbox. Table 3 lists numerous Dreamcast games, spanning various genres including titles like Crazy Taxi 2, Sonic Adventure 2, and many Japanese exclusives. Table 1 outlines the magazine's articles, including Dreamcast news, reviews, and features on games such as Virtua Fighter 4, Illbleed, and Metropolis Street Racer. Columns like reader submissions and industry insights are also included. This page is a Dreamcast Magazine contents page. The left side lists reader information covering games like Love Hina, Le Mans 24 Hours, and World Series Baseball 2K1, along with other Japanese titles such as Harusame Yubi, Battle Beaters, and Spirit of Speed 1937. The right side details thorough strategy guides for games including Fire Pro Wrestling D, Rhapsody of Zephyr, Macross M3, 100 Swords, Aero Dancing In, and Saskatsuku Special Edition, and various anime-style character images are displayed around the text. This page focuses on Love Hina, Smile Again, showcasing a close-up on Mitsune and Mutsumi's episodes within the game. It highlights a new heroine appearance and hints at her identity being revealed. The page details a scenario check focusing on Mitsune, where she returns home late and encounters Kitsune, who seems unaware of her return. The story involves Kitsune seemingly changing and acting strangely the next day, preparing breakfast and doing chores, leading to suspicion and talk of treasure and Kitsune's true identity. Another section discusses established facts and potential plots within the game, mentioning Kitsune being drunk and semi-naked, attracting Keitaro's attention with suggestive words. The page also profiles Mitsune, born on March 31st, an A-type Osaka native and resident of Hinata Apartments room 205. She's depicted as cheerful and talkative, enjoying festivals, horse racing, drinking, and gambling. She is described as a mood maker, often causing trouble and enjoying playing pranks. Finally, the page concludes by questioning whether Kitsune's transformation will be positive or negative, suggesting that deep thinking might not be involved, and that things may not go smoothly. This page continues the feature on Love Hina, Smile Again, and focuses on Mutsumi Otohime, diving into her personality and role in the game. It poses the question, who is the hot spring beauty, and highlights the Hanada Inn's Most Beautiful Woman contest as a central event. Mutsumi's profile is detailed, noting she is born on March 3, 1978, is a Pisces, and B blood type. It mentions her connection to Keitaro from childhood. Her personality is described as airheaded, speaking in riddles, and possessing a unique turtle mode. She is also noted for kissing anyone she likes. The page shows screenshots from the game, including scenes of Mutsumi interacting with Keitaro. It teases a feature where players can touch Mutsumi within the game interface. The article questions who will ultimately win the beauty contest. It mentions that Love Hina, Smile Again offers plenty of content, including 6 new scenarios and remakes of previous stories. The game system is described as simple and based on the previous title, and players can use a command roulette to progress and explore the feelings of the characters, particularly focusing on developing the relationship between Keitaro and Naru. The next page showcases the Dreamcast game, Le Mans 24 Hours, highlighting the thrill of endurance racing. It introduces 2 main game modes: Quick Race for casual play, where you can freely choose your car and course, and the in-depth Le Mans mode. The Le Mans mode is presented as a simulation of the full 24-hour race, but you can adjust the duration, even down to a 10-minute day cycle, for shorter play sessions. A key feature is Machine and Difficulty Select, allowing you to choose your car and adjust the game's difficulty. The page emphasizes Machine Setting, where you can fine-tune your car before each session, including tire types and fuel load. It also points out Beginner-Friendly Difficulty Select, offering various assist levels like Amateur with braking and traction control, Intermediate with only acceleration assist, and Expert with no assists. The article stresses that pit timing is everything, explaining that tire wear and fuel consumption are factors during the race, displayed on screen. Strategic pit stops are crucial to victory. The game was scheduled for release on March 15th and priced at 5,800 yen. Overall, the page promotes Le Mans 24 Hours as a detailed racing simulator with customizable settings and strategic depth. This page continues the coverage of Le Mans 24 Hours, detailing the Suzuka circuit, which is featured in the game in 3 versions: the full course, the East course, and the West course. The game highlights realistic weather changes that can occur randomly during races, making each race experience unique. The page then showcases the Sarth circuit, displaying a 24-hour time-lapse sequence from afternoon start to afternoon goal, illustrating the day and night cycle within the game. Finally, it introduces 8 new cars added to the game, including various versions of the Chrysler Viper GTS and Nissan R390, as well as the BMW V12 LMR and Toyota GTONE, each detailed with performance stats. This page features World Series Baseball 2K1. It highlights the game's realism with 30 teams and stadiums, using player data from the 2000 season, including 6 Japanese Major League players. The page predicts the performance of these Japanese players in a simulated full season using the game's season mode. Player profiles are shown for Hideo Irabu, noted for his devastating forkball and curveball, and Hideo Nomo, known for his outstanding forkball, being a flyball pitcher, and working inside on hitters. Kazuhito Sasaki of the Seattle Mariners is also profiled, with his 2000 season stats and simulated 2001 season results, predicting he will achieve 40 saves with a 2.48 ERA, an improvement over his previous season. The page also discusses the Seattle Mariners team, mentioning the arrival of Sasaki and Ichiro, portraying them as a team connected to Japan. It touches upon their aspirations for a world championship but notes the difficulty of replacing Alex Rodriguez, who moved to free agency. The game simulates the Mariners season, showing a 7,884 win-loss record. World Series Baseball 2K1 simulates the 2001 seasons for 6 Japanese MLB players. Hideo Nomo, Red Sox, shows improved ERA and wins in the simulation, showcasing his pitching style. Shigetoshi Hasegawa, Angels, also sees slight ERA improvement. Masato Yoshi, Rockies, is predicted to have a strong season. Hideki Irabu, Expos, is simulated to rebound after an injury-plagued 2000 season. Makoto Suzuki, Royals, is projected for a better season, though hitting might be a concern. The page also includes a Stadium Check on Fenway Park, highlighting its history and unique features, along with team topics, focusing on the Boston Red Sox, emphasizing their goal to win a World Series. The Red Sox's acquisition of key players is also noted. This page previews the Dreamcast game Harusame Yubi, Spring Rain Day, a love adventure game. The game's story unfolds during springtime, focusing on the protagonist's journey and the gentle kindness of people they encounter, especially a character named Hiyori. The page highlights the scenario download system, a feature that allows players to download additional content after completing the main game, promising a substantial story beyond the initial gameplay. It mentions that the main story has multiple endings reachable within about 3 weeks of play. The downloadable content includes after stories and side stories, differing significantly from the main narrative. These scenarios are priced at around 300 yen each and will be available for purchase. The page also includes a staff lodging memo section, which seems to be character introductions or notes. It details Hiyori's personality, describing her as gentle and kind, someone who offers comfort and support, emphasizing her caring nature. Screenshots show scenes from the game, including outdoor environments and character interactions, giving a glimpse into the visual style and narrative moments. The game is advertised as being 100% complete and is set to be released on March 22nd, priced at 6,800 yen, with downloadable content available for 300 points. Harusame Yubi, Spring Rain Day, previews its love adventure game under the theme Autumn of Longing, Hearts Dwell in Feminine Forms. The game explores complex relationships beyond a typical school romance, featuring characters with hidden depths. Key characters include Kotobukiya Yuriko, a seemingly strong woman with underlying vulnerability; Kozu, a cheerful girl masking anxieties with a domestic side; Hotaru, who internalizes her feelings, appearing melancholic; and Lila, a privileged character seeking normalcy, often found in dishwashing, which is shown as charming given her background. Another character, seen in overalls, presents a blunt exterior that hides affection, offering special hot pepper cakes. The game explores their inner thoughts and desires, hinting at their struggles and journeys towards self-discovery. The characters are looking for a path in life. This page introduces Battle Beaster, a Dreamcast game from Studio Wonder Effect, scheduled for release on March 15th. This voice battle simulation game involves raising beasts and battling them using voice commands via a microphone device. The goal is to become the strongest beast tamer. The game's premise revolves around inheriting a factory from the protagonist's grandfather, then raising beasts and entering them into tournaments to become the champion. Players will start by creating a character and naming their factory before raising beasts. The base section details actions like buying beasts, checking their stats, and learning new abilities. It's also announced that a commercial for Battle Beaster will be airing on Sky Perfect TV around March 24th. Battle Beaster features a Teamer Draft, a key event in March where players acquire trainers vital for beast development. These teamers, ranked by skill, SD, train beasts, teach skills, and boost stats. The draft involves bidding and sometimes ace card usage to secure teamers. After drafting, players assign teamers to improve their beasts. From the third week of March, players compete in single elimination tournaments, earning prize money for factory upgrades or new beasts. Careful financial management is crucial. Bankruptcy results in loss of beasts and trainers. A release event for Battle Beaster is scheduled for March 15th at Softmap Saurus 1 in Osaka, including developer Q&A, demos, autographs, and a major announcement. Quote, this page spotlights Spirit of Speed, 1937, a racing game for Dreamcast. The game aims to recreate the golden age of Grand Prix racing from 1937, offering players a nostalgic experience. It emphasizes the complete reproduction of the era's Grand Prix races, courses that are true to the period, and even the driving styles of racers from that time. The screenshots show vintage racing cars and tracks. The game received a 90% review score and was set to release on April 5th, priced at 3,800 yen. It's categorized as a classic car racing game developed by RAC. The page highlights the meticulous detail in recreating the cars, meters, and dashboard layouts to faithfully represent machines of the 1930s, suggesting a high level of historical accuracy and attention to detail. The next page showcases the Grand Prix car game, Spirit of Speed, 1937, detailing the cars and courses included. It announces that 15 real Grand Prix cars are featured, including iconic models like the Alfa Romeo Bimotore, Alfa Romeo 12C, Auto Union Type C and D, Bugatti 35B and 59, Duesenberg, ERA R5B Remus, Mercedes-Benz 154, Miller, and Napier Railton. The page also highlights the inclusion of 9 Grand Prix circuits, featuring legendary tracks such as Tripoli, AVUS, the American Oval, Roosevelt, Autodrome de Montlhéry, Pau, Donington, Brooklands, and Monza. Additionally, it mentions that beyond the initially showcased cars, other vehicles such as the Alfa Romeo P3, Winton Flyer, Bonus Special, and Mercedes-Benz 125 might also be featured in the game, although their availability and form within the game are still to be determined. This page is about Fighter Pro Wrestling D for Dreamcast, a wrestling game focusing on tag team matches and combination play. It highlights key tag team techniques, explaining combination play, where partners coordinate attacks for powerful moves. The page details two-man platoons from front or back grapples, emphasizing timing, and corner two-man platoons, activated when an opponent leans on the corner after a touch tag. It also explains cut play, a crucial technique to interrupt opponent attacks when a partner is in trouble, suggesting stronger moves like lariats or dropkicks. Finally, the page describes pressing opponents, another combination play initiated from a grapple, using moves like the flying swallow drop and shoulder car somersault kick to finish off opponents in the corner, emphasizing effective corner usage in tag matches. The next page continues to explore Fighter Pro Wrestling D and introduces spectator play as a recommended mode, perfect for those who might find action games challenging. It's described as a way to enjoy CPU versus CPU matches, highlighting the thrill of watching unexpected moves and feeling like you're witnessing a real wrestling event. You can even set up dream matches with your favorite wrestlers to watch. The page emphasizes that even as an action game, Fighter Pro Wrestling D is easy to grasp. Moving into Professional Wrestling Simulator, the article suggests using the spectator mode to predict match outcomes, proposing dream scenarios like Tyson, Muto, and Fry against Tenryu and Kojima. It encourages players to imagine real wrestling scenarios and enjoy the simulated results. If you can't find your ideal wrestlers, the game's edit mode lets you create your own. The page then dives into combining edit wrestlers with spectator play for an even more intense experience. By adjusting the CPU logic in the edit mode, you can create incredibly realistic wrestlers. This parameter logic adjustment allows for meticulous wrestler creation, letting you fine-tune how they perform. You can even make wrestlers who realistically lose like they should against stronger opponents. This deep editing system, combined with spectator mode, dramatically expands the game's possibilities, making it a truly engrossing experience for wrestling fans who want to simulate and watch their own dream matches. This page is about the Fighter Pro Wrestling D First GPW Cup Championship Tournament, showcasing the spectator play mode. The page details the results of a CPU versus CPU tournament, starting from the first round. In the first round, Windmill Theory was defeated by Burn due to unfamiliarity with the Japanese ring. Bear defeated Sagata with an ankle hold. Sonata won against Harlock, using an armbar crosshold. Voice defeated Tyson with a flying armbar crosshold. Naota Kazuki won against Minamura, using an armbar crosshold. Rob Hankin defeated Nogawa with a Russian hook. Shoot Worm won against Hatamoto with a chokesleeper hold. Lastly, Nixon defeated Carl with a chokesleeper hold. The second round saw Byrne defeat Bear with an armbar crosshold. Sonata defeated Voice with a machine gun face knee lift. Barry owned. Naota Kazuki beat Rob Hankin with an arm lock, avenging a past loss. Shoot Worm defeated Nixon with a Rasu hold. In the semifinals, Byrne defeated Sonata with a heel hold. Shoot Worm defeated Naota Kazuki with a guillotine choke. The final match was between Byrne and Shoot Worm. Byrne emerged victorious with a flying armbar, becoming the GPW Cup champion. The page highlights the dramatic moments from each round, including Naota Kazuki's revenge and Byrne's ultimate victory with his signature flying armbar. The next page delves into the edit mode of Fire Pro Wrestling D, guiding players on how to create custom wrestlers. It explains the process starts with visual appearance and move selection, suggesting you choose these elements first before diving into detailed parameters and AI logic. The article highlights that despite initial appearances, the edit mode is user-friendly. The page features a table detailing special skills that can be assigned to wrestlers, each with point costs and in-game effects. For example, star quality for 15 points increases performance and attack power by 25% when crowd momentum favors you. Other skills range from increasing critical hit chances to boosting specific parameters. GPW News +1 section announces the Golden Dream Super FMW Line Net Tournament, set to start on May 15th. It encourages players to refine their edited wrestlers for the competition and mentions that wrestler and move downloads are available on a dedicated website, free until May 27th. There's also an apology and correction regarding a photo caption error in a previous article about Musashi Festival, clarifying the wrestler pairings. Finally, the page includes a call for reader feedback and requests for GPW content, along with contact information for sending in suggestions. This guide covers the early game of Rhapsody of the Westerly Winds, a Japan-exclusive Dreamcast RPG. It focuses on the journey from Karakasu Village to joining the Zephyr Falcon organization. The walkthrough details key locations like Karakasu Village and Pretoria Mountain, offering step-by-step instructions. Players are advised to complete sub-events after joining Zephyr Falcon. The guide highlights exploring Karakasu Village, including checking houses for items and noting the weapon shop. It details the progression from Karakasu Forest to Pretoria Village, including events at the clinic and the automatic move to Ramon Ruin. Players are encouraged to buy items, especially lockpicks. It provides a flowchart detailing the clear procedure through the area. The guide also covers boss battles against Eustacia, with Serrano and Kishin Horse, and Ruben, with Serrano only, deeming them manageable with proper progression. Screenshots of towns, dungeons, dialogues, and battles are included for visual guidance. This guide to the Rhapsody of the Westerly Winds details the Karakasu Forest and Pretoria Mountain areas. Maps showcase routes and points of interest, marked with letters and Japanese characters. The Karakasu Forest map highlights locations like Farmer Village and paths to Pretoria Mountain. Treasure includes property neutralizers and 5.7mm armor-piercing bullets. The Pretoria Mountain map covers areas from Pretoria Village, including access to Dragon Breath Mountain and Undead Bird's Cave. Treasure consists of hyper potions, a gladius sword, property neutralizers, and spirit's tears. Pretoria Village, marked A to C, and the Ramon Ruin area, D onwards, are also covered, with movement between C and D initially limited. Shops, a clinic, and event points are noted. Treasure includes hyper potions, Chris ores, a rifle, an automatic crossbow, healing herbs, and the saber weapon. After clearing Ramon Ruin, Karakasu Village changes, with shops becoming inaccessible. Players can then buy weapons and consumables from Zephyr Falcon soldiers. Finally, the guide mentions the Clan Shadow accessory, found at the Ruben Village entrance post-Eustacia battle, granting Kai power. It also describes G's room, containing treasure chests, and the character Esmeralda. This guide section covers the Zephyr Falcon headquarters and Dragon Breath Mountain areas in Grandia 2. After defeating Ruben, players can explore Zephyr Falcon headquarters, areas AD, with Area D containing a hidden dungeon with valuable items. The walkthrough then leads to Dragon Breath Mountain, connecting back to Pretoria Mountain and granting access to Pirate Kid's Cave. The mission starts at Zephyr Falcon headquarters, Area A, before players head to Giesel Village. Treasure lists for both areas are provided. Zephyr Falcon headquarters yields items such as a Windblade ring and ice sword. Dragon Breath Mountain offers a Knight's Mantle. The guide recommends party setups, prioritizing defense with characters like Shirano, range damage with Silverna, crowd control with Karna, and magic item use with Esmeralda. Finally, it discusses weapon attributes, advising players to utilize magic attacks against enemies with matching attributes, and highlights price differences between stores, encouraging smart buying and selling. The next page of this Dreamcast Magazine strategy guide continues the Grandia 2 walkthrough, now focusing on sub-dungeons and side events around Farah Village. It details 2 cave dungeons, Pirate Kid's Cave and Immortal Bird's Cave. The Pirate Kid's Cave is highlighted for containing a merchant who sells powerful weapons cheaply, but only for the first 3 transactions. The guide recommends obtaining the Jewel Rental Sword here, praising its high attack and defense stats, The Immortal Bird's Cave's objective is to obtain the Immortal Bird's Egg accessory, noted as a superior fire magic item compared to the Blazing Ring. Both cave sections include maps with labeled locations and item lists, outlining treasures such as Earth Dragon's Protection, Gold Bullet, Antidote X3, Automatic Rifle, Blazing Ring, Angel's Tear, X3, Phalanx, Fire Rod, and the Immortal Bird's Egg itself. The guide then moves to Farah Village, described as small, but packed with sub-events and items. It clarifies that in addition to the pharmacy, a weapon merchant can be found near Diana's house. 3 sub-events within Farah Village are explained. The Truth of the Cursed Lineage, involving investigating Brian with Diana's help. Sharon's Sign, where a girl at the village entrance requests Sharon's autograph. And Love Incense Acquisition, which involves obtaining love incense from a tavern to give to a cook in Caracas Village in exchange for a silver gem. Each sub-event description includes step-by-step instructions with corresponding screenshots. This guide details hidden gameplay elements and how to reach the endings in the Dreamcast game Macross M3. 2 hidden elements are revealed: playing Lin Minmei's song and using mecha from Macross Plus. The YF-19 and YF-21 are unlocked via passwords 68,134,581 and 25,193,621 respectively. Sound plugins are also discussed. They unlock classic Macross songs and are obtained by seeing both game endings. The guide explains how to get the good ending, no mission skips, and bad ending, mission skips. To achieve the good ending, players must complete each episode within specific time limits. This necessitates efficient play, considering machine performance and plug-in use. Clear stages without skipping missions, and aim for high scores to secure the Do You Remember Love? Right pointing arrow good end. The next page is a strategy guide for Episode 6 of Macross M3. This episode is about repelling terrorist forces and features the VF-14 Vampire Mecha. The guide outlines 2 missions in Episodes 6 to 61 and 62. For Mission 61, Repel the Battlesuit Pursuit, it's recommended to use fighter mode and missiles to easily defeat air combat pods and Revolt. However, the main challenge is battlesuits, which appear in waves after the air combat pods. For these, it's advised to switch to Batroid mode and use search and gun pod attacks. After defeating them, immediately transform back to fighter mode and boost away to avoid beam attacks. Mission 62, Lure out as many enemies as possible, features variable Glaug enemies. The strategy here is to use hit-and-away tactics. Start in Batroid walk mode to draw the enemies in, then lock on and fire missiles. Immediately transform to fighter mode and boost to evade counterattacks. Repeat this process, emphasizing hit-and-run tactics. The recommended mecha for this episode is the VF-14 Vampire, with plugins like Boost/Search Increase X2, Lock Speed Increase X1, Shield Power Up X1, and Missile Attack Power Increase X1. These plugins are suggested to enhance boosting for quick escapes and missile power for effective attacks, especially as missiles are heavily used. Clearing Episode 6 will unlock the Lock Range Expansion plugin if your total score for the episode exceeds 140,000 points. This plugin is obtained as a reward for achieving a high score in this episode. This page is a strategy guide for Episode 7 of the Dreamcast game Macross M3, titled Break Through the Anti-Aircraft Defense Net Using New Model Aircraft. Episode 7 focuses on base combat and requires navigating narrow passages while avoiding enemy fire to defeat 2 destroyed monsters. The guide recommends using Gaywalk mode for most of the episode due to the numerous obstacles. The featured mecha for this episode is the VFX-11 Thunderbolt section. Episode 71, Gaywalk Mode Breakthrough, advises players to use Gaywalk mode to navigate tight spaces, destroy shutters by finding corresponding shutter keys marked with red markers, and progress efficiently. Episode 72, Aim for Monsters from Pillars, is about fighting destroyed monsters. The strategy here is to attack from the safety of pillars to avoid counterattacks and lock onto monsters to eliminate them effectively with missiles. The recommended machine is the VFX-11 Thunderbolt, and plugins include increased lock speed, shield power, and gun pod attack power. Completing Episode 7 unlocks the ECM Equipment plugin if your total score exceeds 100,000 points. The guide suggests enhancing shield power for defense and gunpod attack for offense in Mission 71. This guide covers Episode 8 of Macross M3, The Final Battle. Players face the enemy's ultimate weapon, with the story branching based on performance after Mission 81. Failure leads to the bad end, 82A, while success unlocks the good end, 82B. Skipping missions guarantees the bad end. Recommended mecha include the VFX-11 Thunderbolt or VF-14 Vampire, boosted with plugins for speed, shield, and missile power. Mission 81, Fighter Mode Pursuit, involves engaging a flying unit, using Batroid mode for missile launches, and Fighter Mode for pursuit. Mission 82A, Repel Enemy by Aiming at Gaps, favors Gaywalk mode for mobility and gunpod use. Mission 82B, Hit and Away Attack at High Speed, utilizes Batroid for missile attacks and Fighter Mode for hit-and-run gunpod strikes. Clearing Episode 8, awards sound equipment. Do You Remember Love? For the good end, and White Dragon for the bad end. Dialogue in Episode 81 varies based on game progress and pilot choice, encouraging replayability. This page focuses on strategy tips for using superior soldiers effectively in the Dreamcast game 100 Swords. It highlights the importance of matching movement speed with formations, suggesting players combine faster units like foot soldiers and magicians with slower superior soldiers. The guide advises creating mixed unit formations, especially combining golems and archers, as archers can attack enemies approaching golems, offering mutual support. It also details resource and time considerations for deploying superior soldiers, emphasizing efficient dragon vein management. A section explains how to counter superior soldiers, indicating golems are weak against ranged attacks and archers are vulnerable to direct attacks. Flying soldiers are presented as strong overall, but vulnerable to concentrated archer fire. The guide recommends utilizing base camps and high ground for superior soldiers, suggesting using them in base defense and on elevated positions for strategic advantage. It briefly touches on network play etiquette, advising against resetting during online matches as it's considered unfair and can lead to penalties. Finally, there is a promotional announcement for the 100 Swords Perfect Guide, a strategy book being given away to 5 lucky applicants. The next page is a strategy guide for Chapter 5. Young Queen Edition, People Who Waste Justice, of 100 Swords. This scenario challenges you to rescue refugees and confront a mysterious enemy named Rulustri in the Karsus Niska map. The strategy section advises approaching from the north and utilizing the fog, as units recover health outside of it. For map strategy, it's suggested to lure golems with foot soldiers and then use archers supported by the seed user unit to attack effectively. The guide also includes a shell effect list detailing item properties and a shell acquisition list indicating where to obtain them. An initial unit placement table shows starting unit positions for both player and enemy forces. Characters like Feofan and Yuri are visually featured, likely as key units in this mission. Scenario 15 of the 100 Swords Guide, Unpredictable Children, in the Faraway Place section, focuses on the conflict surrounding the phallus and the dragon tree seeds. Players navigate 2 adventure sections. To meet Ashuri to receive seeds, where Hanavera uncovers the phallus's true identity, and Rulustri's sudden attack, introducing a new battle. The battle strategy suggests utilizing fog for healing and dividing units. Lure golems with foot soldiers, while archers and seed users attack. Defeat Cult and Phallus in the lower map section with ranged attacks. The guide highlights Rulustri, revealed as the mastermind, representing a family focused on profit and expansion, including key figures like Eurus, Duke Rulustri, and the deceptive Merilirian. A unit placement table is provided. The guide also offers network battle strategies, including using Zarn for resource gathering and weapon development, and transitioning from foot soldiers to archers and higher-tier units. This guide covers missions 16 and 17 of 100 Swords. Mission 16, Rescue of the Girl King, involves leading the leader to Phallus, utilizing Ortul golems to defeat enemies, and a quick Yuri rush. Victory requires reaching the destination within 30 minutes. Mission 17, Paradise Lost, focuses on resource management for flying machines and defeating enemies, including Ashuri. Players must capture resources, build barracks, and deploy soldiers and archers to defeat locations 6, 7, 9, and 8. Victory is achieved by destroying the enemy main camp. Both missions include unit placement charts and are evaluated based on battle results, damage, and clear time. The ADV part explores the Grand Army's internal conflict regarding rescuing Karshuniska, highlighting the motivations of characters like Phallus, Ashuri, and Justien. The next page is a strategy guide for aerodancing. It focuses on mission strategies and network battles. Missions 7 and 8 are highlighted, with advice from the CRI staff on how to succeed in player versus player battles online. The page details strategies for various game modes, including Air Attack 7, which features endless waves of enemies like drones, and Dogfight mode, suggesting using medium-range missiles to take down multiple opponents effectively. Air Attack 8 is a training mode focused on gun accuracy, advising players to use aircraft with high ammo capacity like the F-86F, and to engage targets from a distance of 0.150 to maximize gun effectiveness. Surface Attack 7 is presented as a straightforward stage where the goal is to protect a ship using bombs, suggesting the F/A-18C and dropping 4 bombs at a time from the front of the target. This guide focuses on aerodancing game strategies. Surface Attack 8 emphasizes attack order, turn altitude awareness to prevent crashes, and the location of anti-aircraft vehicles. Dogfight 7 and 8 features high-performance enemy aircraft. It advises missile conservation due to a time limit, promoting gun-based combat. HUD altitude awareness is crucial, especially at night. Overuse of missiles is cautioned against. Operation 6 covers mid-air refueling in the F-15. The guide recommends setting key response to loose and engine output to 81 to 83%, with air brakes for stable flight. The A-10A is recommended for easier completion. Available aircraft unlock after certain missions: the F-104J, Air Attack 7, F-4J, Air Attack 8, F-15A, Surface Attack 8, F-14A, Dogfight 7, and the MiG-29, Dogfight 8. Each plane has its strengths and weaknesses. This page provides essential knowledge to win in online network battles, focusing on air combat games. It breaks down key techniques, starting with the importance of closely monitoring the HUD, heads-up display, for crucial data like altitude and enemy positioning. The guide emphasizes choosing a high-performance aircraft, recommending the F-2AB, Su-27, and F-A-18C as top choices. It advises keeping equipment light, especially in close-quarters combat, suggesting guns and short-range missiles. Understanding aerial maneuvers is also vital, with examples like the high yo-yo and scissors maneuvers illustrated to gain an advantage in dogfights. There's also an interview section with Izumi Yoshiaki from CRI, the Application Development Department. He discusses the challenges in realizing 4-player battles and reflects on the Defeat the Squadron Leader event. He notes that moving from 2 to 4 players increased communication data, which was a hurdle. He also mentions that 4-player battles and even 2-player modes are improved compared to previous titles, likely referring to Tsubasa, Wings, suggesting advancements in their online system and smoother gameplay, especially with BI-type aircraft. He recommends team-based play for enjoyable battles and encourages players to try out 4-player battles. The next page dives into practical combat strategies for 4-player battles in aerodancing. For Battle Royale mode, a recommended starting move is to ascend at a 40-degree angle for about 10 seconds and then reverse direction. This gets you above the fray quickly, letting you spot enemies and get missile lock opportunities from a superior position early on. In team battles, specifically 2-on-2, 2 formations are highlighted. First is the Loveberry Circle formation, where teammates fly in formation to protect each other. If one team member is targeted, the other can engage. The second is the switch wave tactic, involving one teammate drawing aggro, while the other executes a scissor maneuver to attack the distracted enemy. The guide also emphasizes using in-game chat for team communication, suggesting commands like H6 to call out enemies at your 6 o'clock. A Q&A section addresses missile countermeasures, explaining that the missile warning on screen means you are locked on. It advises using chaff and flares, combined with sharp maneuvers like full brakes and barrel rolls, to evade incoming missiles. For medium-range missile evasion, cutting the afterburner is suggested to adjust speed. Finally, there's a Q&A regarding future games, hinting at a fan disc and assuring readers that the aerodancing series will continue. This page delves into the world of Sakatsuku Tokudaigo, J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukaru, known internationally as Sega Soccer Slam. It's part of a series of strategy guides focusing on how to build the ultimate club. This particular article is about boosting your club's finances through various events, categorized as Club Management Funds Increase Events. The guide breaks down several event types. Goods sales increases revenue based on club popularity and hometown population. Goods development enhances merchandise, leading to further income boosts. Goods shop opening increases the base income from merchandise sold at the end of each month. Club gamification brings in revenue and boosts the popularity of less popular players by featuring them in club arcade games. Spot sponsor application events offer temporary income boosts, regardless of existing sponsorships. Celebrity goods sales events, featuring player autographs, attract a rush of fans and increase income. TVCM appearances also generate income and player popularity, especially for popular players chosen for commercials. Player encouragement allows you to sell players for double their transfer value, directly increasing club funds. Finally, player exchange is highlighted as a way to acquire rare and valuable players by exchanging existing team members via the official Saskatsuku homepage. The page also promotes official online tournaments with luxurious prizes, and the Saskatsuku homepage, emphasizing its usefulness in player exchange and information gathering. Sega Soccer Slam features events impacting club management and player development. Club and hometown events like attracting VIPs, winning local championships, and securing sponsors boost popularity, player abilities, and even the local economy. Conversely, neglecting events like local festivals without donating hurts popularity. Player status changes, such as study abroad and purchasing training equipment, improve stats. Beneficial events, like launching a homepage or becoming a competent manager, provide in-game perks. However, negative events exist. Player dissatisfaction, supporter complaints, and facility aging negatively impact player morale, performance, and attendance. Regular upkeep and strategic decisions are crucial for club success. This page presents reader-submitted back techniques or tips for Dreamcast games, featuring 3 games prominently. The first section is for Ultimate Fighting Championship, where readers can unlock all character bodies for editing using a button code at the title screen, and another code to access Ultiman's moves. The next section details hidden costumes and tag battles in Dead or Alive 2. It explains how to encounter enemies with hidden costumes in tag battles, and suggests this feature is a way to refresh the game. Lastly, for Virtua Striker 2 Ver 2000.1, a reader asks about players looking in the same direction during team photos. The magazine explains this is a game feature where players blame a teammate who scores an own goal, and there's no way to avoid it. The page also details submission guidelines for readers to share their own game tips to win prizes like Dreamcast games, book coupons, and special merchandise. This page is dedicated to fan submissions for Grandia 2 and is titled Grandia 2 Win Letter. This is the 19th installment, and it is announced that the next one will be the final issue for this fan site section. The page encourages fans to send in their thoughts on Grandia 2, stating the deadline is March 26th, and submissions can be sent by mail or email to island0907@geocities.co.jp. The page highlights 2 famous scenes from Grandia 2. The first is Tio's meal system, explaining that while Tio, as an automaton, doesn't need to eat, she observes Mareg's mealtimes to understand humans, and drinks beverages to mimic human behavior. The second scene is Elena waking up, a previously featured scene where Elena wakes up to Ryudo's voice. The page points out Elena's another sleepy face is very charming and cute, and emphasizes how players' perception of Elena changes from Grana's priestess to an ordinary girl. The Windy Promenade section features fan contributions from different regions of Japan. These include illustrations and comments from fans in Hiroshima, Okayama, Yamaguchi, Aichi, Tokyo, Kanagawa, and Fukuoka prefectures. The fan art includes depictions of characters like Millennia, Valmar, Ryudo, Elena, and Justin and Fina from the original Grandia game. Each regional section also features a small comment or quote related to the artwork or Grandia 2. The page also includes a section called This Week's Grandia, featuring a fan illustration with a comedic scene about the game. This fan page focuses on Phantasy Star Online, highlighting game details, events, and community creations. Information includes the game's price, player count, and technical specifications. A section details the MAG system, a collaborative effort between Sonic Team and players. Angelic songs resonating in the unexplored planet showcases player participation in an in-game choir event. The Weapons Dispatch Office introduces 2 weapons, the Flame Fist, fire-based firearm, and the Victor Axe, HP-absorbing sword. The Art Club Gallery Pioneer displays fan art from Hokkaido and Osaka regions. Finally, the Quest Information section announces 4 new quests released in late February. Suppression Operation Number 3, Dreams Like 3, Hidden Hunter, and Prison of Filth, a download quest focusing on weapon crafting. This page continues the Handy Mag Exploration Department feature, diving deeper into the conditions for creating rare mags in Phantasy Star Online. It focuses on a specific rare mag called Pinyin and reveals the steps needed to create it. These conditions include having a mag of level 120 or higher, a synchro rate of 110% or more, a high IQ level for your cow character, and using a rare item called Pian's Heart. Importantly, it emphasizes that only a Chow can create this Pian mag. The page also introduces the concept of sudden transformation mags, which occur when using mag cells. Depending on your player's section ID, using these cells can result in different rare mag transformations, such as Soniti, Petri, Shirel, and Preta. Furthermore, the page highlights the connection between section IDs and the types of items, especially rare items, that are easier or harder to find. This is crucial for rare mag creation, as specific items are needed. For example, with the Viridia ID, shot type and handgun type items are easily obtainable, and a rare item you might find easily is the spread needle. For the Skyly ID, sword type and saber type items are common, and you might easily find the rare item Ajido. The next issue promises to unveil even more secrets about mags. There's also a small section with additional information about rare mags, accompanied by an image of another new mag type. This page celebrates fan art submissions for Guilty Gear X, specifically focusing on a Spring Illustration Appreciation Festival. The editors encourage playful submissions, initially favoring KY and May, but now also highlighting Potemkin and hinting at Dizzy. The page features various artworks. Maichen Popularity Explosion showcases May, while Cute and Powerful highlights other characters. Individual submissions include art of Milia, May, Chip, Johnny, Soul, KY in drag, Soul again, and Baiken, each with a brief comment from the submitting artist and their prefecture. One Hit Kill this week spotlights a particularly impressive artwork, the first chosen for the feature. The overall tone is one of enthusiastic fan engagement, showcasing diverse artistic styles and character preferences within the Guilty Gear X community. The next page showcases character-specific continuous moves in Guilty Gear X Part 2. It details combo moves for 4 characters: Axel Low, Zato 1, Potemkin, and Chip Zanuff. For each character, 3 example combo sequences are presented with their damage output and accompanying screenshots demonstrating the execution. Explanations and tips are also provided alongside some of the move lists to further clarify the techniques. This section aims to provide players with advanced combo strategies for these Guilty Gear X characters. This page is a Dreamcast Magazine feature focusing on Darby Stallion Sukuru Ba series, specifically highlighting Darby Stallion Sukuru Ba 5. It appears to be a preview with insights into the game's development and new features, such as changes to the Corolla system and the inclusion of a senior-based breeding system. The article discusses the truth of the ultimate choice in the game, possibly referring to strategic decisions players will face. A separate section titled Weekly Horse Racing Prediction Goal 1 Million includes horse racing predictions, possibly contributed by a personality related to the game or magazine. Finally, there is a Female Reader Enhancement Plan section mentioning Derby Owners Club for Dreamcast, indicating efforts to engage more female readers with horse racing games. A Happy Birthday section also contains reader-submitted content likely related to the Derby Stallion theme. This page focuses on Darby Stallion Sukuru 2. The article discusses how this iteration of the game aims to resolve player complaints from previous versions, highlighting that user-selected representative horses have been decided through popularity and skill-based voting. The page includes an interview section where R provides a Soul Judgment 1/2 prediction, suggesting expert analysis and anticipation for the game. There's a special project feature detailing how famous horses were selected via reader votes to represent users in the game based on both their in-game abilities and popularity. A table titled Series Annual Representative Horse Data lists past representative horses from the series, spanning from 20th year to 29th year, including names like Ball Position, Jojo, Craft, Greed, Beat, Macon, Guard, and horses like Nantan Baba 0, 0, and Sonic Bayor. The article also touches upon the desire to participate in official races within the game and reflects on race strategies, specifically mentioning leading and favorable inside positions. Aside from the game focus, there are smaller sections, one titled Basic Knowledge of Love and Horse Racing, and another section featuring a character named Manager Kuwaku. There's also an advertisement for a horror-related product called Nightmare, from Wani Magazine New Company, priced at 857 yen, excluding tax. The page also promotes the Doriyuma HP, Dreamhorse HP website with URLs http://www.landho.co.jp, http://dabisksuku.dricus.ne.jp. This page advertises the Sakura Wars 3 is Paris Burning launch commemoration tournament set to start on March 15th. Prizes for this tournament include a Sakura Wars 3 limited edition console, Sakura Wars GB Pocket Sakura Set, Sakura Wars GB T-shirt, Sakura Wars GB Regular Edition, and Sakura Wars 13 Regular Edition Set, DC version, and Sakura Wars goods. The page also highlights the Guru Guru Onsen corner called Onsen no Himi Mi-tsu, featuring questions and answers related to the Guru Guru Onsen game and characters. Finally, there's information about the Lycos Cup tournament for Guru Guru Onsen, with registration closing on March 11th. Prizes for the LYKOSQP include a PDA, digital camera, handy massager, and Dorimaga Onsen Association Special Award, which is also a portable strap. The LYCOSCUP event is being held at Hotel Epinal, Nasu Kogen. This page celebrates two-dimensional Mo Girls within the context of visual novel games. It previews 3 titles for the Sega Dreamcast, all released only in Japan. Canvas Sepia themed, from NEC Interchannel, a romance simulation game releasing on April 5th, features characters like Sakurazuka Koi, Nanajo Yuzu, and Kogane Kozue. The story focuses on an artist discovering love and the value of precious things. The page also teases characters in the coming soon game character beauty check section, including Yoshisuga Raiko and others. Comic Party, a romance adventure game from Aqua Plus, slated for a spring release and set at a doujinshi event, introduces characters like Takase Mizuki. Finally, Close to Inori no Oka, a tragic romance adventure game from Kid, releasing on April 29th, tells the story of a protagonist trying to restore his lover's lost memories after an accident. The next page is all about pre-release game character beauty checks and focuses on upcoming titles. First up is Pia Carrot e Yukoso 2.5 from NEC Interchannel, a romance simulation set in the familiar family restaurant setting. We get introductions to a whole host of new characters for this installment, like Hinomori Azusa and Mina, Minase Kui, Momoto Tsukasa, Shito Noriko, and Aisawa Tomomi, among many others. It looks like a huge cast of girls to meet and romance. Then there's Happy Lesson, an adventure novel from Datum Polystar, scheduled for release in April. This game centers around a teacher, with 5 young female teachers as the heroines. Characters introduced include Minazuki Kira, Ninomai Fumitsuki, Sazuki Yayoi, Rokumatsuri Minazuki, and Nana Korobi Nobara. Finally, there's a section pondering if the Saturn was a GAL game machine. It presents sales data showing the number of GAL games released on the Saturn over different periods, from 1994 to 1999, along with their percentage of total game releases. This article previews 3 upcoming romance and adventure games. Sentimental Graffiti 2 from NEC Interchannel expands on its predecessor with a dozen new female characters, each with unique personalities and stories centered around loss. Key characters include the cheerful Matsuoka Chiho, the mysterious Nanase Yu, and the strong-willed Ayasaki Wakana. Never 7 The End of Infinity, from KID, presents a time loop adventure, where the protagonist relives a tragic week. The story involves a dream about a girl's death, and characters like Ishihara Makoto and Okuse Yuka. Finally, An no Kumikyoku Retun from FOG is a cinematic novel exploring themes of reincarnation, featuring characters such as Takabane Sayuri and Tokiwa Saya, promising a more dramatic and story-driven experience. This page introduces 3 romance adventure games for the Dreamcast. First is Kita Ease, White Illumination, a travel communication adventure set in Hokkaido, released on March 18, 1999. The game follows a high school boy's summer vacation, where he meets various girls and engages in conversations. Key characters include Kasuga Natsuki, Sakuragi Yuko, Satonaka Sayuri, and others, each briefly described with personality traits and roles within the game, such as protagonist's classmate or refined older sister. Next is Maboroshi Tsukio, a love-romance adventure game released on September 23, 1999. It revolves around a protagonist living a peaceful life who encounters the ghost of a girl in a kimono, believed to be his former lover. Characters featured are Ayase Yuka, Kiryu Azami, Kujikawa Sayori, and Asu Minami, with descriptions like mysterious ghost girl and childhood friend. Lastly, Prism Heart Prismatical Infernalization, a heartful adventure game released on August 24, 2000. The story starts when the protagonist, studying for entrance exams, visits a refuge and meets girls. It's described as a story of change and encounters with girls like Suzuhara Miyu, Kasugano Sayaka, Tsukigase Ayame, and Christy Graham, each with short profiles highlighting their personalities and relationships to the protagonist, such as boyish childhood friend or world-class musician. This text introduces 4 romance adventure games for the Dreamcast. Roommate novel Sato Yuka, June 29, 2000, is a summer story with various female characters like the kind Sato Yuka, the showy Kono Ayaka, and the caring Imasaka Uemi. Memories Off Complete, June 29, 2000, focuses on memories, featuring returning characters and new ones, such as Kariya Kotori and Mizuse Nazuna. Revive Susei, October 28, 1999, is a trap adventure where the protagonist rescues a girl, introducing characters like the strong-willed Hokuju Chihaya and the mysterious Fujisawa Aoi. Kanon, September 14, 2000, is a fantasy adventure in a snowy town, featuring characters such as the energetic Sawatori Makoto and the cheerful Tsukimiya Ayu. This page covers the AOU Amusement Expo, focusing on new arcade game announcements. The first topic is about Gamey, the mascot character for AOU, which was publicly revealed. The staff felt the character's design was a bit too simple. Next is an introduction to the arcade game Dog Walk, a new type of body-sensing game where you walk various breeds of dogs on a treadmill-like belt. The game is planned for arcade release in summer 2001 and runs on Naomi hardware. Finally, there's a preview of Club Kart, an upcoming kart racing arcade game where players can save their records to cards. Machines will be decorated with stickers based on player performance. The game supports 1 to 4 players and is scheduled for release in spring 2001, running on Naomi 2 hardware. The AOU 2001 Amusement Expo showcased new arcade games. Konami announced several titles, including Virtua Striker 3, Soccer Online Play Card System, Spring 2001, Motion Capture Boxing, Naomi Hardware, March 2001, Private Shot, Idol-themed camera game, card printing, unannounced release, Manbo A Go Go, Bamani Percussion, 1 to 3 players, Bamani Hardware, release timing undecided, and Monster Gate, metal game with RPG elements, card saves, multiplayer, Mass Metal Hardware, release and player count undecided. Amusement Vision presented Monkey Ball, Action Puzzle, Analog Control, Spring 2001. The expo also highlighted the growth of kids' metal games, with Sega, Namco, and Konami as key players. The next page is all about Namco's upcoming arcade games. Mr. Driller Great is highlighted, the 3rd installment in the series, introducing 4 new playable characters with different abilities, which adds a new layer to the versus mode. Photo Battle is an interesting minigame where players use a camera to capture subjects and then battle with the photos, emphasizing quick shots and continuous shooting as key gameplay elements. Gahaha is Shoto is described as a nostalgic-style competitive electromechanical game, similar to Panic Park, using a large analog joystick for intuitive controls in various minigames, aiming for a chaotic party experience. Then there's Vampire Knight, a collaboration between Sega and Namco, developed by Sega WoW, a new shooting game with a gothic horror vibe, said to be more challenging than House of the Dead 2, showcasing impressive graphics on System 246. The page also notes the popularity of prize items in arcades and the introduction of a 2,000 yen bill changer machine to handle larger denominations, something new for arcades at the time. This page reports from the Amusement Operators Union, AOU, 2001 show, highlighting Banpresto and Taito's arcade offerings. Banpresto is showcasing prize items, particularly Gundam-related items, including the MTSS Mobile Suit Gundam prize. Their main game highlight is Mobile Suit Gundam Ver vs. Zion, a 2-on-2 team battle arcade game using the NAOMI board, scheduled for release in March, supporting 1 to 4 players. The game emphasizes team tactics and balanced forces, with controls described as surprisingly comfortable. Banpresto is also featuring various prize figures like Capcom Character Summer Paradise figure, Golgo 13 Sniper Costume figure, Kamen Rider Agito Battleform figure, Ojama Witch Doremi Nuigurumi Collection, and Mobile Suit Z Gundam Transformable Mobile Suit. Taito is showcasing Stunt Typhoon, a stunt-focused racing game where players are encouraged to master the side brake for drifts and side turns across diverse courses and locations. They note its popularity at the AOU show and upcoming arcade availability. The page also mentions Taito's puzzle game, Suiten Ryu, as another offering, suggesting variety in their arcade lineup. The page concludes with a positive outlook for the arcade industry in the 21st century, noting the AOU show's success and a sense that people are seeking unique arcade experiences. The final attendance was around 19,000, with the photo shown being from the Virtua Fighter 4 presentation. Monkey Ball, a new action puzzle game by Amusement Vision, marks a departure from their previous work. Representative Director Toshihiro Nagoshi discusses the game's origins in the Monkey Ball Development Secrets interview. The concept arose from a pool of ideas, with a team of 5 developing the game in 3 months. Initially, the game involved a ball dropping down 100 floors. To improve player understanding of ball direction, they added characters, ultimately choosing monkeys for their appeal. The game targets couples, envisioning a dynamic where girls play and boys offer assistance. Nagoshi acknowledges other ball-rolling games, striving for a unique approach. Features include action puzzle gameplay, single-player mode, and runs on the NAOMI board. The game is slated for a spring release and features monkeys navigating 3D mazes within clear balls. Sega's Monkey Ball, a Dreamcast action puzzle game, features monkeys Ai, Mimi, and Baby, positioned as new mascots with planned merchandise. The game offers 90 stages and utilizes a unique banana-shaped controller with analog input for intuitive ball control. Director Nagoshi explains the game's design philosophy emphasizes simple rules. Time limits and avoiding falls are the primary challenges. This focus on simplicity, avoiding complex mechanics like jumps, creates dynamic and accessible gameplay. Players collect bananas for extra lives, vital for survival and stage completion. The game also has a tie-up with Dole Bananas, featuring their logo in promotional materials and potentially within the game, with Dole Juice distributed at the AOU show. This page showcases adverts for strategy guides for 2 popular fighting games on Dreamcast. The top half advertises the perfect guide for rival schools, United by Fate, promising to perfectly guide your Justice Academy life, with detailed character data, edit character analysis, versus battle advice, and revealing all hidden elements. It mentions the guide is currently on sale and is a 5 size with 232 full-color pages. The bottom half advertises the official strategy guide for the Dreamcast version of Guilty Gear X. This guide aims to thoroughly explore the essence of GGX, offering in-depth analysis of characters' basic abilities and special moves, detailed strategy data for both CPU and player battles, and even covering advanced techniques for experienced players, billing itself as the ultimate guide for the Dreamcast GGX. It is also on sale, a 5 size with 256 full-color pages. This page is the Hitmaker official page, focusing on Hitmaker Trust, and it's all about the game Sega and the Sega vs. Dogma Total War. It previews Sega, highlighting its main rival, Dogma. The page introduces 3 key Dogma characters, Kuno Kaorin, Artificial Life E, and Dr. Dogma, who appear to be antagonists in the game. Sega is set in Computer Devilish Area Akihabara, and the article mentions a signboard rewrite project suggesting in-game actions. Sega is described as a management simulation game for 1 player only, and was scheduled for release on March 29th at a price of 5,800 yen. This page continues the Hitmaker official page feature on Sega, delving into the developer interviews aspect of the game, which focuses on negotiations with creators. The page details the negotiation tactics required to recruit creators within a 10-second time limit. This involves answering questions correctly to raise goodwill, offering money in negotiations, and sometimes even recruiting creators automatically after battle. It emphasizes understanding the creator's personality to choose the best dialogue options during these tense negotiation moments. The negotiation tips section advises players to identify the creator's type to improve their chances of successful recruitment, and highlights that sometimes raising the financial offer can be a key strategy to win them over. This page continues the Sega feature, explaining team formation for game development. It highlights that a team consists of up to 7 members with 3 key roles: director, designer, and programmer. You can adjust your team composition at any time during development. The page introduces the development pyramid, a rigid structure where directors are at the top, followed by designers and programmers. This hierarchy reflects a class system within the game. Factionalism is also a key element, with groups like the Moon Group, Star Group, and Flower Group creating divisions and conflicts within the development environment. The page also introduces the Research Department Manager. Finally, the page indicates that after team formation and understanding the development structure, you will move into the game development phase itself, hinting at more details about development secrets in the next issue. This page focuses on the Dreamcast game Air Tricks, providing gameplay tips for the B stage SET2 stage, specifically the suburban section, which is divided into 3 parts. The article gives advice on how to move between the ramps effectively, detailing strategies for moving from the front to the center ramp and from the center to the back ramp. It emphasizes using tricks and aiming for a high coolness factor during gameplay on these ramps. The page includes screenshots showcasing in-game action from Air Tricks and highlights that it is a Sega/Hitmaker game for the Dreamcast. The character profiles for Air Tricks introduce 5 characters, each with distinct strengths and recommended tricks. Jake, balanced and combo-focused, gets the French FRY flip. Spidey, known for speed, is best with the back loop. Katie excels in spins, utilizing the Hakon flip. Linda, another balanced character, favors mix juice. Finally, Tony, light and combo-oriented, is paired with the dog walk grind. The page also features developer comments. Hiroshi Kawaguchi highlights the game's Digirock sound concept. Katsuyoshi Taniguchi praises Tony's style and character animations. Yoshifumi Suzuki discusses high-altitude stages and London-inspired backgrounds. This page introduces Pro Gear no Arashi, known internationally as Pro Gear, a horizontal scrolling shooting game developed through a collaboration between Capcom and Cave, scheduled for release in April. The game is touted as a challenging and classic-style shooter, with simple controls using 1 lever and 2 buttons. Pro Gear features a unique dueling system, where players collect jewels that appear when destroying enemies. Gameplay involves 3 attack methods. Fighter mode, activated by button presses, focuses on speed and standard attacks. Gunner mode, activated by holding the button, increases firepower but reduces movement speed. And bombs, which clear the screen and provide temporary invincibility. The game's narrative centers around young people going to war to avenge their parents. Screenshots illustrate the gameplay, showcasing aerial battles, jewel collection, and bomb explosions. Pro Gear is a horizontal scrolling shooter where players choose a fighter and gunner pair to tackle 6 stages. Fighters ring read, average abilities, and chain shallot, straight line attacks, pilot gunflyers, while gunners bolt boyer, high mobility, front attacks, nail nara narus, guided missiles, and rivet rivera, bombing attacks, pilot militant and gunflyer variants. The affinity system, boosted by jewel collection and strategic gameplay, affects the gunner's appearance and rewards. Each stage features challenging enemies and culminates in a boss battle against powerful elders, such as Barossa equals bench, Priere equals hammer, and Jim Chuck equals Subana. Capcom promotes Pro Gear, emphasizing its appealing characters and innovative gameplay as a fresh experience in the genre. Release is planned for April. This page features various figurines and models. The Henshin Agito section showcases Kamen Rider Agito figures, including a detailed Mikazuki statue. The complete toy section presents non-scale pre-painted Kamen Rider figures, such as Agito 3 Form and Masked Rider G3. Resin Kit introduces 1/8 scale figures of Princess Cornet and Kuru from Marl Kingdom. Mirai no Kuruma, Side Machine Nado, highlights ASIC Volume 11 Side Machine and Kikaider set. Kondo Ha, Mizugi de Hinata Se, features Love Hina capsule toys with swimsuit-clad characters. Lastly, Assembly Kit presents a 1/72nd scale, 33 cm Zoids Liger Zero model. This page features a diverse collection of figurines and model kits. Highlights include a pre-assembled Originator Beautiful Girl robot action doll, a Guts figure from Berserk, and the transformable soul of Chogokin Geiking. Other notable items are a soft vinyl Ash figure from Avalon, pre-painted figures of Rock Howard and B. Jennett from Fatal Fury, and action figures of Byako and Bayan from the Mirai Ninja game/movie. The page also showcases resin kits of prop guns, including weapons from Trigun, Appleseed, Ghost in the Shell, and Sakura Wars. A dedicated section discusses the appeal of 1/1 scale prop guns for fans of anime, tokusatsu, and games, emphasizing their realism and the potential for future releases, possibly related to Sakura Wars 3. This page introduces the characters for the Guru Cha manga, episode 37, titled Online Bridge. First, we meet Guru, a bright young middle school student and aspiring scientist who's described as a Soltelka-type child. Then there is Usagi, a rabbit-like creature made of gel cells, and Guru's fourth creation, possessing human-like intelligence and conversation skills, whose common sense is based on Guru's. Awai-san is introduced as Guru's assistant, a manufactured being aiming to be a good wife, though her chest-mounted artificial face, Awai-san, disagrees. Meishi-san is a popular and narcissistic school idol from a prestigious family, known for her smooth skin and glasses, the latter of which intrigues Guru. Lastly, Ayase-kun is Guru's classmate and a member of the Meishi-san fan club, portraying a calm and supportive demeanor, always closely following his girlfriend's side, and described as a Soltelka Teka type who loves mecha. The comic strip depicts Ayase-kun trying out an online communication game. He encounters a character resembling Guru within the game, much to the amusement of Usagi and Meishi-san. Ayase-kun and Meishi-san engage in online role-playing, with Ayase-kun declaring he will protect her, using a password named Password of Tears. Guru then asks if they have seen the in-game item Soltelka x Meishi-san, which he has collected, leaving Usagi curious about its purpose. The page humorously touches upon online gaming interactions and character dynamics within the manga. This week's Dreamcastrology offers horoscopes for March 9th-15th across all zodiac signs. Aries should embrace the outdoors, while Taurus focuses on work and rest. Gemini faces a busy week, Cancer dreams big, and Leo seeks expert advice. Virgo should address worries, Libra embrace challenges, and Scorpio avoid risky finances. Sagittarius needs to prioritize tasks, Capricorn will be rewarded for effort, Aquarius should balance interests, and Pisces should try new things to combat mood swings. The lucky person of the week is someone born on March 10th. Additionally, Hakozaki Itamae's Corner discusses graduation and reflects on life transitions. This page is advertising a Reader Prize giveaway from Dreamcast Magazine. Prize A is the Ultimate Fighting Championship Game and Strategy Guide, offered to 5 winners and provided by SoftBank Publishing. Prize B offers 15 winners the chance to select their Dreamcast game software, provided by the editorial department. Prize C is an original Dreamcast name card case for 10 winners. Prize D is an original Dreamcast t-shirt, also for 10 winners. Prize E is the Dreamcast Monthly Best Telica, featuring Guilty Gear X for 25 winners, highlighting it as the December Best selection. Below this are staff credits for various departments, including editorial, parts, production, accounting, and photography, along with contact information for inquiries. The bottom section details the prize winners from the March 2nd issue, listing names and prefectures for various prizes, including Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure, Dreamcast-compatible software, original t-shirts, and the monthly Telica for Tricolore Crisis. This page is an advertisement for the Key Fair event, running from March 3rd to May 6th, 2001. It promotes merchandise related to the visual novels AR and Canon. For every 3,000 yen spent on related goods, customers receive special non-sale items. Animate stores are offering clear files and postcards. COSPA and Gamers stores have clear files and promotion cards. And other participating stores are giving away big promotion cards. Participating companies include Alchemist, Kadokawa Shoten, Kaspa, and more. Contact details and a website are provided for the Key Fair. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Macross M3. It highlights the release date of February 22, 2001, and the price of 6,800 yen before tax. There's a first limited lucky card campaign, where purchasers can win prizes. The prizes include a 1/24th scale VF-1S Fighter Valkyrie model, a Macross Complete Transformation Series VF-11B Thunderbolt figure, and sets of VF-1A, VF-1J, and VF-1S model kits. Additionally, 100 winners can receive the Macross M3 Soundfile Mini Soundtrack CD, which was released on February 21, 2001. The advert also showcases screenshots from the game.